Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stories to D4. As you may have heard, I'm Matthew, and I'm the Dungeon Master here on the channel. And I'm so excited you decided to join us because we get to start a tournament arc. We don't have a lot of announcements. I have two big things I want to say, and then we'll jump right into the session. 3, I've drawn on my shirt and pen. So with that aside, we are very excited. We're right at the end here of September. So if you like what we've been doing here, everything you see here is kind of funded by what we do here on Twitch. So those subs through Twitch, be they free through Amazon Prime, or if you want to subscribe if you don't have Prime, those help us get cameras, miniatures, all sorts of stuff to support us here on Stories. So if you like what we do, we'd love to have your support. Other than that, if you're not following us on Twitter, you absolutely should, because we're going to be seeing some more news about this tournament that we're going to here on this story. But we also are going to be putting more information about our upcoming one-shot happening here in just 2 weeks. So with that, let's kind of open the floor and welcome back everyone.
Hi.
You guys were waiting for a minute there. When's it coming?
Smile away,
took a minute.
Well, you guys can't see it.
No,
you
we
guys
can't.
have no idea when it's going.
No, so
I
we
can
just
just start
early.
waving and
We'll just
Follow.
follow.
We are sort of just mimicking what they're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Stories D4. We're both gluten-free and monitor-free.
We're gluten-free now?
No, there's so much bread before the session. We're absolutely not.
I was like, I don't think I could live without bread, honestly.
had tacos.
Well, welcome back. How was everyone's week?
Been good. It's good. A good week.
We haven't had a footnotes in a little bit here, so we're gonna do a little peek into the past. Not behind this screen, but behind a screen long, long ago. We once had a campaign that happened before this one. Now, that campaign happened decades and decades before, had different heroes and villains, but it also had a tournament. And you guys are finally gonna get to go, and this tournament happens every couple of years, and I'm really excited to see how the Defiant Smiles fare at the Tournament of Blades.
We'll see.
You optimistic?
No.
No, we're so much lower level than we were last time we competed in the Tournament of Blades.
I'm trying not to judge it based off of how I feel, but is it true also that the number of session happens to be a little coincidental? And
Yes. So in both cases, the Tournament of Blades happened around session 45. In this case, we're starting at 45. That case, we were finishing at 45.
I feel way less strong.
You are.
We
You're
were.
about 5 levels lower than last time.
We've gone through less trauma, I would say.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe you guys have.
Thorn?
Maybe Thorn
We
is...
can fix it.
We can make him worse.
Ooh, we can make
Make
it
it
worse.
But I'm looking forward to it because it's kind of fun to have sessions that aren't, oh no, kind of sessions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no.
It's not going to be an
Can you expand upon that? You're not going to get stabbed and actually die from it, usually, at a tournament.
We'll just get maimed.
We'll just get maimed. But,
Yeah.
you know, but we're not, like, fighting somebody who's trying to, like, kill us. We're fighting for fun.
Yeah, we don't have to, like, do a villain monologue and then get convinced by the villain that they're correct, but that their approach is incorrect, so we
That keeps
have to
happening.
kill them to solve the moral dilemma that they've then placed us in. So, yeah.
Yeah, that keeps happening.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you guys would like, we can jump into tonight's session. We're not.
Nuh-uh.
Do we have to go to the corner?
Yes,
If
we
you
have
don't
to
go to the corner, we're going to
We
riot.
often put baby in a corner, to be fair.
every week.
I'm baby.
Clip it.
Well, there's only 2 names on the Nat 1 and Nat 20 list.
I want to talk about it.
Both are the same name. We'll start with Nat 1s. DM, you rolled 3 natural
I
1s.
did.
Is that true?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's better.
You've had worse.
I've had worse.
Yeah. L, you rolled 1, natural 1.
Yeah.
And then the natural 20s, it's L and DM as well. DM, you outscored L though. You got 4 natural 20s.
You play so many more characters than I do.
I am so many people.
And L, you had 3
I
natural
am
20s.
all of
pretty
your
good.
mothers.
Yeah.
It's really
pretty good.
Yeah.
I am all of your mothers.
I was considering putting my 19s down as a crit because it counted as a crit, but it's
Ooh,
not.
we have to make a decision.
It only applies to Hexblade's Curse though.
True. So let's...
But they're crits. The point is that you rolled.
Hey, you
Yeah.
there watching the show right now on Twitch or on YouTube later. Let us know what you think if we should count augmented crits from abilities such as Hexblade's Curse or improved critical for those fighters in the party. We'd love to hear what you think because I'm not sure. I don't have a definitive decision here.
Yeah.
I think I'll leave that to you all and the people at
You want to
home
just
to
put an
decide.
asterisk next to it. So it's like included, but it doesn't count.
Okay.
You know?
Squiggly 20s?
It's like world records in baseball before like 1950.
Yeah, I'll just write a 19 as a 20.
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Well, I think that...
I kind of got where you're going.
I got lost.
Why don't we go ahead and jump into a quick recap? I want to get you guys back into the city you know and love, Calberth.
Mm-hmm.
So last time we met, our heroes had been fighting in a series of caves beneath the city of Carcosa. Carcosa, a fine town with a healthy silver trade, had been getting occasional attacks by these strange drow plunderers. And so the party was hired to both delve into the tombs below and find and rout the drow there, but also to accompany and test Sir Latraval, a young human knight who was not quite betrothed, but certainly smitten with the young noblewoman who lived in the city. It took the party quite a bit of effort, but they were able to fight through the tunnels, facing Umber Hulk and drow alike, until eventually they came face to face with a drow priestess who used a collection of different spidery magics to strike at our heroes, the Defiant Smiles. In the end, our heroes were able to take her down, with her being quite literally turned to dust. With the victory in hand, the party went back, returning to Carcosa for their reward from the local noblemen, and eventually boarded a ferry up the river towards Calberth. The river ride was pleasant, with some of the party practicing their sword play with the princess, others even spending some time to flirt with a mage who was also aboard the ferry. Yes, I mean you, Victoria. But for the most part, it was a calm and quiet journey, eventually leaving the lands that our party is familiar with, leaving Eltz and the Vorox Empire, to finally make it north to the Kingdom of Issel, home of both Ililie and Ismini. Here, the party entered Calberth, a bustling city filled with castles, strange magical creatures like dragons, but also all manner of different humanoid creatures, from the Duragar and Drow all the way up to strange yellow beings from the astral plane. It was here that you've all you've checked into a local tavern, you've put your things away, and now you've begun walking the streets. You've met a strange little girl, a little witchling who was running away from a local priest. And you're having a quick, brief conversation with her when she introduced you to her master. And that's where we're going to start.
She was taking us to a statue.
She was taking you to a small statue. This little girl, as a quick reminder, probably somewhere in the 10 to 13 age bracket there. This little child, whose name you know to be Terry Wildercloth, was walking you up towards the castle. The gates themselves locked, but a series of these large statues of heroes of the past, the Guardians, have been erected on this row known as Heroes Hill.
Mm-hmm.
With little witchling at your side and fresh pastries in your hands, you have met her. You've now met her master, this woman who introduced herself as Fina. Quick reminder from last week, if you don't remember, she has this sort of bluish purple tint to her short hair. She wears long, formal-looking wizard robes. You can see that she's got a series of markings along her skin, these red... It looks more like it's paint than tattoos along her flesh. But she, kind of thankful that you've helped out her student, kind of continues. I do appreciate what you've done. There's some strange characters in Calberth, but that's not the worst thing that there could be.
What's the worst thing there could be?
Well, she looks kind of grim for a moment and turns.
Wells are dangerous.
She turns and gestures to the statue behind her. You see a man. The statue itself is probably about 25 or so feet tall at its highest point, made of various forms of stone. Looks like it was carved despite the different materials that are integrated into the actual stonework. There is a human male, large beard, scar across his face, old. You can see it looks like some of the hair fading on the sides, big plate mail with what looks to be scales along the front, sword in hand, fighting a massive creature. The creature itself that he's facing off against looks to be a sort of bipedal being, mace in one hand, sword in the other. Its entire body nearly looks to be this giant head with a huge gaping maw and small beady eyes at the top, a little horned helmet. This creature looks vaguely familiar to some members of the party. I suppose this would be close to the worst. A few years back, Calberth was attacked by this large creature, and if it weren't for that man, I wouldn't be here.
Is that why everyone's so nervous around the festival?
Sort of. Just like festivals are a bit of bad luck, it's normally bad luck to talk about them, but yes, oftentimes people let their guard down when there are times of peace or celebration. And so we try to take a little bit of extra care, especially with so many sellswords and foreign heroes present. She kind of...
I'm not a foreign hero.
Yeah, they're not foreign heroes.
We're
the
from
foreign
here.
hero.
Guilty by
here.
association. What's that badge on your shoulder?
My
Chest?
summer job?
What?
My yeah, my summer internship.
She turns, clasps her hand together, and you hear her whispering a bit. Sounds like she's praying, perhaps, here. Well, I believe you said you were interested in the festivities down below?
Mhm.
So what brings you to Calberth? By the look of you, I assume you're not here to stay very long.
Like most people, the tournament. We're heading north.
The Tournament of Blades is exciting. A number of the Guardians here have actually held tenure as Blades over the past few decades. Have you participated in the tournament before?
We've never participated, but some of us have been in the past.
Oh. I'm gonna make a really quick... You guys introduced yourself, correctly? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have a quick insight check from you as meeting?
Oh boy. Not good. 9.
Okay. As you continue walking down this row, you see that she's kind of introducing some of these various characters who you pass by. There is a massive statue of what looks to be just this sort of giant lizard-like creature that you can't quite place. Small limbs, huge long legs at the bottom, a tail that extends nearly 20 feet back, and a giant head like an alligator, standing far too tall for a normal lizard. You keep going further and you see there is a knight who is building what looks to be a pyre. He's stacking logs underneath this it's just a stack of lumber he's got here, a torch in one hand, and there's a large egg within the pyre itself. Going on further, she's just kind of telling these different stories here. I must confess, I am a bit surprised to see you here in Calberth, Miss Arundel.
Well, we were looking for their statues out here, so didn't quite get to them yet, but
Who are you looking for?
you know.
No, I, Matthew,
Oh,
don't.
Delilah and Cesis' statues.
Perhaps we'll take... Once we've got you down to the festivities, I can bring you back here. Your mothers are in the inner courtyard. The statues of your mothers.
Damn.
Oh,
Wow, I had a full-blown
No,
panic
I'm
attack.
no.
Like a family reunion.
We-
That sounds fun.
I would love to go see it. I've heard a lot about it.
I wanted to ask for baby
You haven't been to
pictures and
Calvert
everything.
since you were a toddler, I suppose.
Yeah, not since the funeral. It's been a long time. This place is way more magical though than I remember. I'm honestly not sure why we didn't come more often.
I'll be honest, it's a bit of a coincidence we've run into each other. Most of my time is spent in a few different labs with my research, and so Calberth can be a challenge for me to return to. There's a lot of good memories, but a lot of bad ones.
Do you know what I'm asking? Is your sister also here? I've heard so much about both of you, so.
She kind of stops and looks back towards the statue. No. Insepa passed a few years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
My sister, she was taken by that creature, and a kind knight took his sword up again.
Just so what is that exactly?
Give me a quick intelligence check, Connor.
I would like to know.
You can make it as well. DC is 10.
6.
It's very familiar, and you genuinely feel on the tip of your tongue, and you hear a heavy sigh from the creature of the gems.
We need to start feeding your brain swords, I think.
What?
Lilia?
Just int, not history.
Just int.
19.
This is a 20-foot tall version of the strange blue fiends you've been encountering.
That's concerning.
Oh, that's very concerning.
We've actually seen these creatures recently.
Yeah, a lot smaller though, right?
Yeah, a lot smaller, and where it didn't take, an infamous knight and guardian to defeat them, in that we beat them.
I'm sorry, you said you've seen one of these creatures?
Yeah.
When you slew it, did it disincorporate?
Oh no, she used to keep their body in
radiant
her
magic,
room.
but otherwise,
Yeah, it did
no.
with radiant magic. But no, they didn't. We've seen like a lot of them with like with Scorbin and
Terry, would you mind escorting them to the festival grounds? I do apologize. I would love to ask more about this. I must go speak with a few individuals here at the castle.
Did they get that big?
We only saw the 2.
There was 2? They were that big?
Yes.
They can get bigger.
They grow.
The primary theory was some form of giant kin infused with fiend's blood, but the presence of anything smaller,
They were like our
that's new
height.
information. I will speak with Lady Karen on this. I do appreciate it, Lilia, and it was nice to meet the rest of you. Terry kind of just sitting here. Can we go? They're gonna start soon. If you're gonna play, we've gotta go.
True, we need to grease this one up.
Yeah, we do have to grease them up.
Are you gonna be the grease goblin for your round?
Sure.
Okay, come on. You gotta go. You gotta come after me. You hear her quickly begin muttering under her breath as she begins to cast a spell.
Can I
She's
just
going-
grab her shoulder?
Do you want an athletics checker?
I just want to. I thought maybe I was taking a cue, like we're going somewhere. So I was like, okay, let's go.
She finished casting Long Strider herself,
Oh,
and is going to begin running through the streets, holding her oversized backpack, kind of bouncing behind her.
I'll race her. Let's go.
Oh, absolutely. You want to go ahead and make me an athletics check here?
Sure.
As you get me in sprinting behind her. What's your base speed, out of curiosity?
Thorn will
35.
walk casually.
I'll walk with you.
12.
Okay. One sec.
Oh, wait. I have an uneven number of arcane points right now. I'm going to spend an arcane point to, it just lets me ignore difficult terrain, which I think is nice.
Sure. No, that'll apply here as you're pushing through the crowds here.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give you advantage on that roll to kind of represent how you're using this arcane alacrity.
12 still.
Still a 12?
Not a great roll.
Well, I rolled a natural 7, and wouldn't you know, this 12-year-old girl's not particularly physically strong. So as she's running here with augmented magical abilities, moments later, as she's kind of rushing, you see kind of a blur of legs underneath her, but unfortunately her small pace is not enough as bounding past her.
I will not get all the way there. I'm going to wait and pull back a little bit as if I'm getting tired and go like, there's a stitch in my side. I never run like this ever.
Perception check, you.
Oh my gosh.
Just a natural 1 for me.
It's 2.
Good. You guys are both
2 for
terrible.
4.
I will not succeed here. She's just like, ha, got you, old lady. And she keeps pushing forward into...
For a moment, I think about, no.
Try
Old
your
lady.
sword. It's not too long before you reach the base of Heroes Hill, past the giant lizards and the knights and the dwarves and all of these people you see as you descend into the main square, the town square here in the heart of Calbert. You can see dozens and dozens of these different places for seating, these risers that have put up. A couple of houses that surround the square actually have ladders that have been set up, and they're actually, you can see people sitting on the slanted roofs of Calberth, kind of resting on these large quilts that have been laid up atop the roofs to look down on this massive 50-foot diameter circle, fenced-in circle, that has been set up in the center of the town square. You can see that it looks like, as you're kind of coming closer, people have gathered around, are very, very excited. There is a pole, like a lantern post, in the center of the ring. The ring is floored with thick mud, and there are a collection of what looks to be about 8 barrels in the center of the ring. The barrels are decorated in bright, colorful patterns. Very distinctly colored from one another, Victoria, so as to prevent people from confusing them from each other. But you can see there are a couple people who are like climbing out of the central ring, fully covered head to toe in mud. One of them is holding up what looks to be this large sort of baked clay crown, just holding it up above them, like cheering, fist bumping to the sky. So kind of excited. You okay, Victoria?
I didn't prepare polymorph.
Dang it.
Have you prepared spells today?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Whatever you'd like to do.
cast a different 4th level spell.
Go for it. So,
Magic.
as you're all approaching here, it looks like this has been is ongoing. All right, who will step up next for the Greased Goblin competition? We need more champions for Calbert. You there? In the fine dress, how would you like to get messy?
All right, let's do this.
Yes.
Now, Dwight? Yes, sir. You there, the lilac skin and the dashing smile. How can, what do you have to say?
I'm here to be greased.
My friend, a greased man hasn't happened here all day. Please, the crowd starts screaming.
Already unbuttoned.
Missiles coming from outside.
He was undressing no matter what you said.
People had started to like clear a little space
Starts
for
to
you.
announce me. I'm already just.
Now, have you all participated in a greased goblin competition before?
It's the first
Not
time
at
for
all.
everything.
All right. Well, come on in close. He quickly leans in. So, we're going to be releasing goblins covered in grease, and your job, each of you, is to grab as many as you can and toss them in those barrels in the center. Don't worry, they love this, and we're paying them out the wazoo. Now remember, there are 2 special rules.
Mm-hmm.
There is 1 goblin bathed in gold. He's worth triple points. And 1 goofball greased. But I see you've brought the goofball for us. We appreciate it. Who doesn't love a good jester? Like, crowd starts yelling, gets really excited. I'm holding this like he's holding a microphone, but he's absolutely not.
Maybe he just has a stick.
He's got he's yelling at a stick. Yes, Victoria.
Can we banish our competition?
The only,
Tournament rules
I
apply.
suppose, technically speaking, I should mention, do not murder anyone. You can do whatever you want.
I'm banishing L. Friendly fire.
This is the first crown I've ever wanted.
I will promise right now I'm not banishing any players because I want everybody to get to participate. But my first thought
You can banish
banish
me.
L.
That's actually
All
very
right,
funny.
now, you don't want anyone,
That is
now,
much
unfortunately,
funny.
I will have to say your little orange friend will not be able to participate. Rowler kind of on the ground. just kind of sits down, kind of listening here reluctantly. He's been very lethargic here today.
Maybe it's all the magic.
Do you have any more questions?
Poor Elnor.
I might recommend removing the pauldrons for this. They make it a little bit difficult for you to really get your arms around them. Oh, we'll be greasing you in a moment, honey.
Oh, okay. I'll save my questions then.
Wait.
Is it a
So wait,
secret?
are we not?
No,
we're
I
not
was
supposed to
just
grab him.
Gonna ask.
Oh no, he's worth the most points of all. Now you won't enter at the very beginning. You'll be jumping in a little, in just a little bit, because once
Okay.
you're caught, the game is over.
Okay.
You're the snitch.
No, I'm
It's
the
not nice to call a snitch.
Joker.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's
Clown?
not the snitch.
I
wasn't-
forgot about Harry Potter for a second.
Do the three of you have any questions?
Can we cast spells before we enter?
I'm not looking.
How
Okay,
long?
I'm gonna start casting so much magic.
Cool.
Yeah.
You just sit here
I
asking.
cast 2 spells.
Is this
I'm not kidding.
this
Neither
a
are concentration.
Is this a
One of them is concentration.
Would anyone else like to join the... What do you call yourselves?
Define smiles.
Fine smells.
The defiantly smiling folks. Anyone want to join them? You see people like you can see one looks like a young smith, wide shoulders, burly kind of man, big beard. Steps up. I'll join in on the fray. And a couple more people start setting up. People are getting pretty excited here as you're kind of getting ready for this. It looks like as you look at the fence post around, everyone is going and placing their hand on the fence itself. And as someone does, you watch that fence post around it change color, matching towards one of the barrels in the middle. So I'm gonna go around the table and ask what color your fence post turns into.
I'm sorry.
And Lilia.
Aaron, draw blue.
Ooh, it's just solid blue? Or do you want to do your mixture?
Yeah, I wouldn't be the Aaron draw colors, for sure.
You place your hand upon it, and suddenly both one of the barrels in the center and the fence post shift to this brilliant red-blue hybrid with what looks to be a series of interlocking rings, the sigil of your house, as you place your hand down upon it.
Blue team.
Lady Callister?
Mine, in a similar fashion, will just be what I'm wearing. It's gonna be red and gold.
Red and gold? All right. I like it. So you-
I'm not gonna forget which one's my barrel this year. I didn't know.
I remember why you wanted polymorph now.
Silver
gonna
for
turn
mine
Ellen
to
to a
kind of match
rabbit.
the
Ooh,
moon.
it changes not just the color, the material. It almost looks like this whole thing has been transmuted into pure silver. It's brilliant. Beautiful.
That would have been really funny.
Laurentius, as you stand here, you're offered this sort of sash or kilt if you'd like to wear this as your attire for it. All right, he's brought his own skivvies.
There's no walls, right?
It's just the outer ring you're not allowed to leave.
Okay. There's no walls.
Yeah, there's no walls.
There's no walls.
Yeah. Good luck catching me in this speedo and not being uncomfortable touching me while I'm naked. Almost.
With
You
your passive
underestimate what I would
perception,
do to win.
you can't help but notice a collection of hooded figures, halfling-ish size, all around the outside. They're absolutely goblins ready to jump on it.
As close to time as possible, I'd like to cast a spell.
That's totally fine. We're
Because
about
I
to-
need the maximum amount of time of the spell.
I believe, are we all ready? Did you have something you want to describe? You want to do your question, describe what you're doing?
Yeah, what's my job? Just don't get caught?
Your job is to not get caught. Now, we do ask, once we've sent you in, you've got to stay in the arena.
Okay, fair.
The
Can
arena
I-
only extends about 100 feet up, just as a reminder.
Could I have just a small jar of that grease? Please and thank you.
Thank you. Place your bets! And you see people start like going over and begin betting on different colors. You see these small posts that have been put up where people are putting these small bits of, they're copper and silver. These people aren't betting crazy money on you guys or anything. But it's a festival. People are getting really excited and rowdy. All right then.
I cast my...
Something that I need to know. I'm sorry. Are you holding onto the grease or did you tuck it into your speedo?
No, I have a jar of grease in my hand.
You're holding it. Okay, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would ask for a cucumber if
All right.
Wait. Cast my spells.
Boom, 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 boom. Describe to me what it looks like as you're casting these spells, because
Okay.
if they have visible effects, this is how we
First,
wanna-
I cast Expeditious Retreat.
Fair enough.
Very
It's a
fast.
stack with my AP. So, no difficult terrain.
It's been minutes since. How long does the Arcane Alacrity last?
Actually, doesn't say. But I'll just spend another arcane point.
Perfect.
Okay.
You're buffing yourself that way. You're very
And-
fast.
And I'm invisible.
Illuminate disappears.
Yeah.
Is Meanie?
perfect.
I reach into my bag and I pull out a snakeskin glove and I put it on my right hand. And I cast Bigby's hand and a giant fuck off skeletal hand appears.
You brought a
Moving
big
with your
hand.
motion, this massive, large, like 10-foot long hand begins floating through, just outside the arena because it can't be inside yet. This massive one. You want to give a thumbs up to the crowd? Giant fist. It's moving. You can see it moves with Ismini's hands as she's commanding it.
Are you not even
Super
going to get in the ring?
Snakeskin?
Yeah, snakeskin glove.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
You could dunk. With that. All right, everyone. Goblins, release. Roll for initiative.
Do.
I don't have it.
Connor. Treat your roll as a math 20.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I apologize.
All
It's
good.
generally speaking, you'll roll lower than me.
Yeah.
All right, my
13.
13's not bad. My
11.
11 for is Meanie.
16.
16 for L. All right, Connor, you're sitting here on the outside. You can kind of begin. If you want to make me, you're on the outside. You're just not allowed to jump in yet. There will be a loud signal when you're allowed to enter. What do you want to do? Because you actually do win the initiative here.
I'll cast invisibility.
Wait.
He's invisible and covered in grease.
I go later.
You all see Thorn winks
Do you
out
wanna
of
play a game?
existence. Winks out of existence and presumably is moving somewhere. We don't know where.
Good luck finding me.
That will then be Illilie. This is a skill challenge. So remember, anything you guys do, you can only do once because this is all happening over a couple of minutes.
Cool. I give myself blind sight.
Giving yourself blind sight, you leap in. Okay. So this first round, we're not going after any goblins yet. So as you leap into the fence, you see that all these goblins begin rushing and scurrying around in the central area here. I will allow you to do that. Is there a sort of check you'd like to pitch for you to do this first?
Yes, I am trying to stealth in my first round because I'm invisible and won't be invisible again. So
Make a stealth roll for me.
Yeah.
Illilie becomes invisible. Her eyes
Oh, I
are filled with
advantage.
magic. Her legs are filled with magic. Honestly, magic lady, right?
Yeah.
cool. I have a 21.
21. Okay, I'm gonna put this
My
marker
boots give me
right here.
advantage on stealth, so I'm
Excellent.
super stealthy.
Also, you had advantage from being invisible.
Yeah.
Sweet. We're gonna keep on going. You see L disappears. Goblins begin rushing around. There's at least a dozen of them. Quickly at the beginning of the turn, one of the other competitors, a dwarf, just comes up and shoulders you in the side and tries to run towards the center.
I'm looking for that gold one. I know that one's worth more, so I'm trying to
Give
find
me
the
a
gold
perception
one.
check real quick.
Right, 15.
A 15. You do not currently see a golden goblin hidden amongst them. Let me just put it this way. The players are very clever. We're going to keep going. So, Mai, you're not seeing anything here for this first turn. Is there anything else you wanted to get done?
No.
All right, we'll keep on going. Is Meanie. You've leapt in. You can see one of your friends kind of pause and take a survey of the situation. What are you doing?
I don't care about the golden one. I care about the largest group of them.
Oh.
I'd scoop
What are you going to do to this big group? You want to big be it?
I want a big beat.
All right, what I'm going to give you for this one is maybe a spell attack roll for it. So it's your intelligence plus your proficiencies. Very high roll.
Yeah.
So you watch as Meanie's hand flies over and drops down like the claw to grab as many of them as possible. I'm giving you a harder DC because you wanted a bigger thing. But tell me what you got.
It'd be a natural 20 for a 29.
Nice.
Is Meanie grabs up a collection of goblins, and you watch lifting high in the air, some of them go, "Wah!" as they fly up and are caught again before getting dunked in. As soon as they fall into the bucket, this giant barrel, the barrel widens ever so slightly, and then immediately after, bursting from the top, a trio of green bulbous-headed goblins, now clad in the full Ismini dress, begin cheering for her. Clearly there's some sort of magic going on here, but the three of them these three goblins here begin cheering before immediately the next wave of them comes in as you continue grabbing up all these goblins. Let's be a mischief round. I need a luck roll. Connor, you're safe.
15.
Oh, you want us to all
all
roll?
Yes.
9.
18.
Ililie, I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw for
I'm
me.
invisible.
You're invisible. I can't choose you. You're the lowest.
Yeah.
I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw as a collection of these goblins begins conspiring against you, charging up, grabbing for your ankles, trying to pull you deep into the mud.
12.
A 12. You are quickly flipped onto your back as they begin just like splashing you with mud, trying to cover you as much as possible. As they continue and then begin running away, but they are quite close to you. So there's something to consider here. We'll go to the top of the round. Connor, from now on, Thorn can choose to. You can decide when you want the start time to be, and you can jump in. Okay.
Okay.
If you, or rather, do you want to jump in this round or no? Would you like to wait longer? You can also do other magic and stuff from outside.
I'll wait.
You're waiting. Elle, it is your turn, and you can see invisible creatures.
Yes.
You see a golden goblin.
I'm
He's
going for
gold
it.
And he's invisible. Now he's very fast. You watch as he's sprinting. You quickly recognize the effects of another spell. As the way he's running, he's hasted. He's
Cool.
sprinting around here.
I can move 70 feet around.
That's the
And
whole. That's more.
that's
than
with
the
a bonus action. And I ignore difficult terrain. And I could go faster if you'd like.
You see me go,
Can
go
I-
to that mountain and back.
I'm going to try to bag this guy, essentially.
So here's what I'm gonna say. And
Cool.
if you want to argue
If
something
he's
else, you
constantly running around,
can.
he doesn't realize I can see him because he can't see me.
No idea.
I'm going to wait till he's close to my barrel and then tackle him in.
Okay, I'm gonna say one of two. I'll give you two options here. You can roll athletics for the full tackle, or if you are wanting to go, I'm navigating how fast I am, where I'm basically you're softly flying above the ground. You're barely staying on the ground at this point.
Yeah.
I will allow for acrobatics, but either way, you can only use either one.
I'm going to
once.
go acrobatics.
All right, you take the moment waiting. You are probably 35 feet away. The moment he crosses in front, in a blink. You're as you tackle him, your invisibility does dissipate because it is an attack.
Yes.
Okay.
Math 20.
Math 19 because I have a +2 on this. I have natural 17. Elle dives into her own bucket. Golden Goblin like the spell dissipates. Emerges. A moment later, you see Elle stand back up. You're muddy on the lower section, but you're mostly clean.
Yeah,
You're
I
stepping
don't
up
care about getting muddy.
before suddenly loud, bellowing voice. Elle. Chanting this deep bellied voice. I was gonna do a rhyme, but Elle is not a good name to rhyme in retrospect. Begins chanting, and you notice he's getting slightly larger as he's in here, just chanting. He's also suddenly split between red and blue paint on top of him. And he's just cheering out this golden goblin.
You're the only person who can sympathize with me in this moment.
You burst out ready for the next round. We're gonna go to Mai. Now, Mai, you've been knocked down, so I'm gonna give you disadvantage on this thing you're doing this turn. But what do you want to do? A bunch of goblins are close.
There's one close. I want to grab the closest one by his feet and drag him down with.
Sure. You want to drag him into the mud? Are you just fighting?
Yeah, at this point, I'm like, I'm mad now.
Just
It's
mud
not funny.
Make an athletics check for me. Immediately, the woman of God immediately goes, I
18.
choose violence.
18.
18? My, you immediately you try to grab at two angles in front of you, but you didn't realize at first. You grabbed two different goblins and have fully pulled them down, striking them into the mud. You can keep pulling them below if you want. You've got two goblins in your
Yeah,
hand.
let's do it.
You just fully push them. You push them into the mud as a couple of people run past. You can see what looks to be probably a 25-year-old woman. She looks like she's dressed like a baker, covered in mud at this point, with a small blue goblin tucked under her arm like a football running towards the center. We'll then go to Ismini. Ismini, a ton of these boyos have been locked up in here. What are you doing?
I've already used my grasping hand ability.
Yes, you've used grasping hand ability.
Great. Is there any slippery?
It's so slippery and difficult terrain in here. Thick mud, For dwarves, this is almost impossible. They like have to turn into a giant ape or something.
I would like to
Dwarf.
using my. Okay, I need to be by the barrels.
You can get to the barrels.
I can get to the barrels. Can I do something else once I'm at the barrels?
Yeah. What do you want to do? Skill challenge. Tell me what you're doing.
I'm gonna use interposing hand.
Mm-hmm.
So creatures that have a strength score lower than 26 can't get through.
You gonna read that
Between me and the
You
barrels.
can block.
From a specific creature, it will be L. L can't get to a barrel now. Is your strength score higher than 26?
No.
I love this. Perfect.
I know how we'll handle this mechanically.
I want a big belt now.
We're gonna go to the top. Round 3. Thorn, would you like to join the fray?
Doing that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stroll in.
I can't.
Invisible. You begin strolling in, confident. You do anything this round? Know that attacking or casting will break invisibility.
You prepared something that's terrifying.
It's so stupid, but fun.
Make this check with advantage, please.
Okay.
Why do I feel
An
like
invisible figure strolls in and begins some nefarious activity, which, Elle, when we get to your turn, oh, you're next. We'll talk about
I also
it.
have blind sight as a reminder.
How far is your blind sight?
10 feet.
Oh, you don't see him. Was it?
14.
14. Okay, good to know.
I feel like I'm being bullied.
Elle,
Yeah.
a giant skeletal floating hand is just protecting your barrel from you.
It's
What would you like
meanie.
to do?
Yeah, is it between me and Ismini?
Between you and Ismini, but Ismini is standing by your barrel.
You're sitting by my barrel? Okay. That changes a lot of my plans.
You got too
Oh,
many points.
Pass
Yeah.
interference.
it's fine. I'm gonna cast Spider Climb on myself and climb over it.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Unless, if it's just tall enough I can leap over. I'll just do that instead.
Well, as you kind of I'm gonna do a mixture. I'm gonna yes and you.
Yeah.
As you try to leap over this thing, you watch as it whoop, begins flying over flying upward. It's an interposing hand.
And then it goes
What
like
I will
this.
allow you to do is, with disadvantage, you can make an athletics check versus his meaty spell save to try to crawl over this thing. It's gonna do its absolute best to succeed.
If I burn the spell, do I need to burn the spell slot?
No, you're just doing an athletics check, but you have to beat her DC with disadvantage.
Okay. What's your spell save DC?
17.
Athletics? That's an 18.
It's an 18. So this is the additional points, but you're able to take all of your efforts here.
I have one goal in mind.
As you eventually fall about 10 feet into the mud, the hand beginning to come down towards you. You see his meaty Callister close to you, knee deep in mud.
I put the muddiest hand around her ankle and pull, or I will pull.
The two of you begin wrestling.
You
We'll
have adopted
keep going.
mine.
Become
Mine?
one with the mud.
You can't help but hear a nearby you as something invisible is stepping in the mud, and you see briefly a mud angel appear and then be covered as something submerges itself face first in the mud nearby.
I'm gonna stare at that very strange at first. I'm gonna ignore that. We'll ignore that. No.
That's weird. Anyway.
I have
Anyways.
goblins I'm wrestling with right now. I'm gonna try to grab the two under my arms. See if I can't carry the two I was.
You want
holding
to
to
just make me, this is very easy, make me a strength check with advantage as you kind of, because you already succeeded in grappling, we're just going to move him across the battlefield.
Strength check?
Yep.
16.
16. Excellent. Mai goes over and begins dunking goblins into her barrel. Immediately after they emerge, full bucket helmets, and begin chanting like a warlike song for you. They're very excited. Goblins love this time of year. But Mai, it's me. Your turn. Is you grab those two and you keep going. These aren't specific points.
Yeah.
We'll keep on going then to Ismini. Traitorous little elven paws wrapped around your ankle.
Cool, I Misty Stab. To the nearest goblin I can see.
Okay. You're just trying to, this kind of act of surprise. I'm going to ask you to make me a contested initiative check here for this point. As you blink out of existence trying to bring this one in. 14.
7.
Okay. As you blink trying to grab this goblin, it begins running away and is immediately picked up by that giant blacksmith you saw earlier, who runs across, begins dunking that one into his barrel.
The hand is still staying between me and Elle.
It's still between you and Elle. Okay.
I
Then
see a
we're gonna go
handprint
for the
on your
next
dress.
Thorn. I wrote Connor, by the way. Everyone else is their name, but Connor. You're Connor for some reason in my initiative. I'll fix that.
Because Thorn's.
Thorn. You feel briefly someone standing over you, looking down at you before she leaves. What would you like to do now that you're underground in the mud? Return to Earth.
Eating those rocks is really doing a number on his mental health.
Can I see any group of people?
You want to?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If anyone's looking really carefully, there's just the silhouette of there's a muddy head because you're invisible. The mud.
No, I know.
Are you wearing the mud?
Yeah, it's on me. I'm
You're
assuming.
disguised in the mud.
Well, either way, you make something obvious. If it disappears, then there's a hole in the mud. So either way, just the shape of the top of your head comes out from the mud. You can wipe your face and looking around. What are you looking for? There's plenty of people. You can get to the
Groups
party.
of people. Groups of these people.
Okay. These two, Elilie and Mai, are closer than anyone than any other pairing.
I cast web.
You cast a web.
Yes.
I believe they make dex saves to become entangled, or they become entangled.
Yes.
Dex saves.
A 2. I'm entangled.
24.
You are bound
You are
to
not.
a goblin you are currently grappling and fall.
I believe
ignore
you
the
do have to.
terrain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
24.
and you ignore difficulty.
But now I can see Thorn, right? Because he just cast a
Thorin
spell.
becomes visible. Now he's only got this much of him exposed. The rest of him is under the mud.
I go under the mud. And if I
Using
can make
the rest of your movement,
If
you
I
move
can-
probably about 5 feet in a direction.
Perfect.
A square. You have to still spot him.
I know where he is.
This is one of my favorite minigames we ever did. So dumb. Elle, that's gonna be your turn.
I can see Thorn, the prize.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, sorry. It's actually a strength check. My bad.
It was a 14.
Oh no, a strength check to escape. My bad.
You're in.
Okay. Perception.
Yes.
Not great. It's an 11.
Connor, make your stealth check for me. Laurentius, becoming one with the mud, is currently hit.
Didn't know he had the
mud
psychic
sharking
move.
this.
12.
You're not sure? What are you doing when you're here? Like, what
Okay.
is your
If
like,
I can't
are
get
you,
to Thorn, because I was going to say I
well,
got
you're
the
looking for Thorn. What are you, as you try to find a place, what are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm gonna try to freeze the mud to make him.
Very close to you, you just suddenly start feeling the mud becoming rock-like nearby.
I'm going to do that by casting Dragon's Breath myself. By the way.
You're breathing
How many
ice.
spells are you concentrating on?
No, that
No,
only
it-
one.
Oh, okay.
Elle, you keep
Expeditious
going.
Retreat is not, and I had lost invisibility.
Elle
Oh.
rears her head back, blowing all of this cold ice. It's a huge cone of
I'm
this.
just trying to get like as many goblins stuck as I can because I want to be able to get them into my barrel.
Yeah, you freeze a ton of goblins in front of you here.
Trying to get
kind of
them in.
looking for Laurentius. Next turn, there's frozen goblins. There are not frozen goblins on the battlefield you can try to capture. Let's go to Mai. Mai, what would you like to do?
Definitely break out of this web that I'm
Make
currently
a strength
stuck in.
check.
Strength check, yeah. Oh, you're good.
Nat 20 for 23.
You burst out and begin gathering. You go ahead and take the goblin you already had, and we're able to put that one up. But that'll
Yeah.
be your turn.
Sounds good.
We'll keep on going to Ismini. Ismini, there's frozen goblins.
Yeah, somebody just froze goblins for
You can't
me.
take all of my frozen goblins.
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna go collect as many goblins as my little noodle arms will carry. I can carry Raunor.
You haven't with increasing
Wait,
difficulty.
You charge towards the frozen goblins. Make a strength check as you attempt to carry as many goblins as your little noodle arms can carry.
Direct quote.
Is it okay? That's okay.
It's a 10.
It's 10.
Not
Like
re-rolling.
Hercules and the Hydra, your great strength is legend. You charge forward, finding the smallest goblin you can. No, you find a goblin standing about 3.5, almost 4 feet tall, and are able to have to over your back and begin sopping your way through the mud to eventually get an extra one to go in. As it emerges, it is dressed like your sister.
They're really tapping into your traumas.
Then we're going to continue on top of the round. Thorn, your leg is currently frozen.
I should have saved my big beast.
I cast Misty Step into the web that I cast.
I hate all of you for missing.
Thorn appears standing in the center of a spider web like a villain from a Raimi movie. A Sam Raimi movie.
Come get me. Thank God for that silk sash you gave me.
Yeah, you can move through it casually. You're walking along the actual webbing itself, no problem.
Forgotten the mission. I just want to capture Thorn.
Yeah.
Elle's turn. Elle.
First, I want to. I guess I need all the frozen goblins. I would like to yeet them into my barrel.
Okay, you want to show this? What are you doing to do that? Or because if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna just we can rely on all your magical augmentations with a Dex check. If anything else you want to try.
I mean, all I can do is freeze more because I'm concentrating on.
Yeah, you would just be freezing more, which they're already frozen.
Yeah. I don't really have anything.
Okay, then
Murder
go ahead.
goblins.
We're gonna go ahead and start you this turn by doing. We're gonna do the same thing as this meeting. We're just gonna have you make a quick strength check. I know I'm no fun.
Math 20.
Math 20 is not bad at all. As you've run over,
Sorry, 19. Just in case it changes
it
things.
does change things actually.
I
But
looked
looking
at my
through,
save
Elle and
throw.
Mai, you're about tied, but Asmini has a strong lead over the entire competition here.
Are Ella and Thorn within 30 feet of each other?
Yeah, it's Mai's turn. Why do you ask?
I'm casting Hold Person on both of you.
What saves do they need to make? Tired of their
Is it a
nonsense.
charm?
Once we're bad at it.
Is it a charm?
Wisdom save.
Is it a charm effect?
Nope.
Not a charm
Not a
effect.
charm effect.
Wisdom save. That's something I'm bad at.
15.
Also
Fail.
a 15.
Fail.
Vroom, vroom. They're fully captured at this point.
I'm in the web.
I'm gonna start making my way towards Thorn in the web.
Do I lose concentration? Because I'm
No, you're paralyzed. You're
Okay.
still concentrating.
Cool.
I want to do something because this is like a game point. It's kind of like how when you're knocked off a ledge, you get an extra save because this is game point potentially. I would like you and Asmini to make initiative rolls versus each other. I'm gonna give my advantage because it was already your turn though. I think that's totally fair.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Wait. How's yours? Are you feeling good?
No.
Roll again.
Ooh. No.
Yeah, I don't. The spending happens after you've determined, or before you've. For the first step.
10.
13.
Ismini. Mai is sprinting over towards Thorn. Ililia is frozen. Mid-run, kind of awkward to be honest. Off in the side, you can see leaning against one of the fence posts is Jam in her armor, who's sitting there just kind of gently petting Ralnor, who's right next to her. What are you doing in this turn, Ismini?
Can I ride my hand over to Thorn?
You can easily fly there over to Thorn. As you... I'd love to say there's a reason that you'd struggle to do this. Normally we don't do any repeats, but the only check that makes sense for this action.
Then in that case, I would like to...
Ooh, tell me.
Let's see. What can I do to make this different?
Ismini, you have a third option on your hand you have not used.
Slam.
Like a bug.
I want
Like a
to
spider
do
in
the
a web.
math. I want to sit there. I want to stand there, and I want to calculate in my head the exact angle that my hand needs to come from, so I can forceful push him into my barrel.
Punch him across the battlefield.
How far can he go?
Quickly, you watch as the
Yeet.
hand still land flies up 30, 50 feet in the air, then
Or
dive bombs at an
crumpled up into
angle.
the barrel. Still paralyzed.
Is he 25 feet away from the barrels or less?
Yeah.
Great, I can do this.
I need you to make me just a flat intelligence check. I'm gonna get the DC on this one because you're trying to push a spell beyond what its normal means are. Is 20. You strike. This fist strikes against. Strikes against you, Thorn. You feel your feet leave the ground and the web. The web had grown comfortable. Return to spiders. You fly through the air, arching further and further away. What was the first roll?
The first roll would have been a 19.
19. You find yourself spiraling through the air towards another barrel. You're spinning through the air. We're going to be caught. But it looks like this would have been potentially in that young woman you saw earlier's barrel. and the last moment you kind of begin rotating in midair. What's the result?
21.
21. Thorn, you sink deep within this barrel, falling, the mud clearing off of your form, and forming around you suddenly this beautiful red dress that Asmini wears before you emerge, a song in your heart, bursting out with the other goblins. The crowd's going wild.
Is it like too small? It's like goblin size.
You want to be goblin size? Yeah, it's absolutely full belly. Because it's technically a jacket and a skirt, but there's full belly button, a little bit of a beer gut going on there.
Thorn, your ankles are showing.
This is how wizards work. We don't have to do the setup. We just finish it. Thank you. This is how wizards work. I finally have learned how to play wizard today.
Can you let me go with the hold person thing?
Yeah, I'm really
I want to jump in my own barrel.
You want to jump in your own barrel? Leaping into your barrel?
I would like to experience what Thorn just experienced. Seems fun.
Come out an
You know
outfit
what?
way too small for you?
I want you to roll a d20 if it's a... Yeah, I need to know if
Let me use the
you want it to be more than an 11 or more.
Okay. It's 15.
So 15. You leap into the barrel and suddenly the smell of fresh leaves of home, and there's this exciting, not quite patriotic, you wouldn't have a word for it, school spirit fills your body. And as you emerge, it's your normal attire, but now you're covered in like patches of the Arendral crest. You've got a small banner and just like kind of begin cheering as you emerge from the barrel before catching yourself. What am I doing?
Became an NPC for a second, guys.
Whoa! There was a table and dice.
The meta.
A few minutes later, you guys are able to, you've exited out of here. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and of course, our champion is Meanie. There's this clay crown that is handed over to you. It's a small, simple little thing, but it's yours.
I wear it with pride.
You put the crown on excitedly. Jam goes up. I love your crown.
I earned this by cheating my friends.
To be fair, I cast hold person on L.
Thank you for not banishing me to another plane.
Okay, my original plan was to turn Elle into a rabbit. But I didn't prepare a polymorph. So then I thought, I'll banish Elle.
I would say the next hour or so is spent with the party sitting on one of these nice curved arched roofs, watching a bunch of the townspeople go and play this game. At one point you see what looks to be a trio of hill giant brothers have gone in and are facing off against this, well, there's no polite way to say it, gaggle of gnomes. But you watch as different sorts of characters are kind of passing through here. You see a couple different people who look like they're clearly here for the procession to the Tournament of Blades, so other mercenaries and warriors. But there's peace in this place, relaxation. Jam cannot stop laughing. She's red in the face for quite a bit of time. That was delightful.
Next time, I will get to eat people into a barrel.
Should play in the mud more often.
We should play the mud more often. We have, like, a mansion. We could make a mud pit.
Yeah, totally.
We
Oh,
could
the warehouse.
It could be a mansion with some upgrades. It's mansion size.
It's a mansion to
I
me.
think there's a certain charm to the warehouse.
You can say it's a gross, giant, abandoned warehouse that we're refurbishing.
There's so many sharp edges on the second level.
Do you know we bought it from the mafia?
There's a mafia?
I'm so concerned.
You're not.
She kind of looks on. I was joking.
Okay.
I didn't want to have that conversation with you.
Because we would have explained to you.
Thorn,
Never
how many
mind.
festival... How many fried foods do you have with you at this point? You've been here for a couple hours.
Oh, I've gone probably 2 rounds on all the vendors.
2 rounds, all the vendors.
Yeah. Short rest, right?
You're drunk. Yeah, short rest.
Sick. I do this stupid warlock shit.
You do, yeah, you regain all your spell slots.
And I'll use my Bloodwell ring.
Okay. But
I have all my spell slots back.
You get drunk and then use your resources to get better.
Hang on.
what's up?
Arcane recovery.
You get regain spell slots.
How many?
I mean,
Half
it's
your
on your
wizard
sheet.
level.
It's
I
half
don't-
of your level.
Yeah. And it's always...
Round down.
it's
round
rounded
down.
down,
Rounded
minimum
down.
1.
And then 1. So 4 levels for you.
So you can get 1 4th level or split it
I
up,
only spent to
however.
5th.
Yeah.
I don't have arcane recovery. I just spent my resources.
I wanted to get Bigby's hand back.
I don't have arcane recovery either.
There are more
I
games
don't have
here. Like you
Warlock
spend
DS
time.
either.
There are axe throwing competitions. There's an event going on where a series of people are actually trying to chop through these massive logs that have been set aside.
I would like to do that.
Yeah?
That's what I spend my time doing. Is
Okay.
every
Alright.
game.
Nice.
What we're gonna do? We're gonna run your best round of it. You want to go? There's 3 difficulties: Elm, Black Oak, and Iron Oak. It's the hardest wood around.
Okay.
What
Do
do
I
you
have any
wanna
way to
try?
magically augment myself? The answer is probably no. Of
Well, if you want to use your own sword, you can do. They'll let you do that.
course I'm going to use my own sword.
Are you gonna chop a tree down?
No.
You don't want to chop a tree down?
Why would I chop down trees?
They grow back. They get better.
As you're kind of getting ready, have you ever done this before?
No, never one. What if I miss the tree?
Oh no, that's fine. Miss Fina she's off with Mr. Oddwater looking for the last champion.
Do you have to chop the trees down?
Well, you have to split them in half, and you're graded by how far you get and how in the middle.
Never mind.
Yeah, but
I was gonna try to play the system.
What are we going to do to the trees?
It's gonna-
Booming blade the tree.
No, I was.
You can definitely booming
I was
blade
gonna
the
do
trees.
destructive wave. And do all 3
I
at
was
once.
also thinking about
Break them.
do I thunder step while I do it to make sure the tree goes down? Fine, I'll use a sword. I use my sword.
All right, I need you to make me an attack roll.
I'm gonna weapon burst with my sword though. So
Here's what we're gonna do.
I cast Toll
What's
Dead
the
on
size
a
of you?
tree.
I would like you to roll your attack roll
okay.
and take your weapon burst die and roll it with as if it was.
That's a D8.
Yeah, add a D4 to your attack roll.
I should have learned green flame blade.
It's so fun.
Only for this.
Yeah.
Only for this.
Okay.
Igniting your blade, you leap up into the air trying to slash down. What is your result against the iron oak tree?
That is so bad.
Tell me.
Is it a nat 1?
No, it's pretty close. It's a 17 total. It's a 4,
Oh, okay.
a 3, plus 10.
A 17, you're able to push. Your blade does
Terrible.
slice into this magical wood, pushing down probably about a third of the way. It has no successes. But you're able to. Takes this moment for you to pull back. People are kind of there's some clapping going on. You can actually see that there are other small cuts. The iron oak trees, they don't have very many of them because people don't succeed here very often.
Can I try once more?
All
Just
right,
one.
you can have another try.
Okay, thank you.
You hear it off in the distance. Kick the tree's ass!
I'm trying. Oh my gosh, it's worse. I
Good
don't
news, bad
know.
news. You do get about as far in the tree, but you need help to get your sword out. Yes, Miss Callister?
Can you banish me now?
Do you have like a Yopon?
What?
Like something really small?
Would you like to try the easy one?
I only have a dagger.
No, they have an axe.
No,
you can
use
as a
my-
sword, too.
I'm gonna use an axe.
The main
Okay,
thing,
I was like,
the,
you can
the
use my
default
sword.
is this two-handed wooden, two-handed iron sword they have. Would you like to try it?
I am not proficient in swords.
It's okay. It'll just be a strength check.
No,
You
what about
might-
like a Yopon? Or like something really
That's not a word anyone else
I
knows.
don't know
No,
what word
I
you're
don't
saying
know.
at
they're
all.
like this big around.
You want to cut like a moringa tree.
They're full
A
logs.
branch? You're just
Oh,
talking about a
Softer
branch?
wood.
Bamboo. She wants to
You
cook
come to Strongman are like, do you guys have any kale?
Can I?
Do you have a candle? I have this dagger. I can cut it in half real good.
It's
I'm
this
gonna-
die.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
All right, going against the elm tree. Famously soft wood. Come on.
4.
4. As you swing down with all of your might, loosening your grip ever so slightly, you almost trip yourself over, almost falling through the front of the stage. Over the front of the stage, people freak out in the front. Play it cool. Unfortunately, it does not look like the Smiles are having the best time here. Either of you guys want to try it while we're here?
Nothing.
I'll give it a try. Fuck it.
I just did.
What do I roll? Just the d20?
It's an attack roll with your
Okay.
weapon. So you.
I can't
linking-
use swords, so I only can roll a d20 and use my
sharp,
strength.
holding your weapon in two hands, do you want to do easy, medium, or hard? Elm, black oak, or iron?
I'll try the one that L did. Why not?
Looking over to L, giving a little smirk, you take a few steps up and swing.
It's not gonna be much better. 27.
So much better.
16 plus.
My friend, sinking in, you push about a third where L was. Halfway through, 2/3 complete before it comes to a stop. You can see through the oak. The top of the oak is fully split. Everyone is going absolutely wild here. As you're brought over, it goes, oh, no. You've won the second place prize. Again, kind of pulling things through.
Prizes?
And you watch as there is this, there's this bit of excitement as he pulls out what looks to be a sort of, it looks like it's a half cloak. People haven't, you're the only one who's succeeded on this so far. This cloak itself looks to be made of red dragon scale. It's just a collection of these little scales. Now, once you're handed it, looking a little bit closer, these may not be authentic, but there are a collection of these. It looks like dragon scale.
I love Halloween costumes. I will throw it on immediately.
You put it over your other red cloak.
I forget my sword and I walk away. Oh wait.
You blink your sword back into your hand.
Yeah.
And keep on going.
Dang.
The rest of the day is calm, though you do still have a little rambunctious witchlet with you. Mr. Thorne, that was really good. How did you learn to fight like that?
I just did. Does that make sense?
Well, most of the people who are able to do that are a lot bigger than you. You're kind of scrawny to be able to cut through the tree like that.
Hey,
What? It's
I feel
stronger than you
better.
are.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, let's go.
You arm wrestling a child?
Yes. I've had a few to drink.
You're drunkenly arm wrestling a child.
Thorn drunk beats the thing, arm wrestles a child, eats a turkey
1
leg.
second. I have to talk to an adult first. Hey, is your friend weak to anything? Does he have any vulnerabilities? You have to study your enemy before facing them.
Yeah, you usually study them, not ask the person next to you. I'm
Well,
totally
he's full of sass. That's for sure.
I don't know if
Does
you're...
Thorn doesn't have any, like, it's not like where, like, you set him on fire. You could set him on fire. That would work.
Every person is weak to that.
Every person is weak to being set on
Take her
fire.
staff
It's also
out
murder, and this is an arm wrestling
Flex.
competition.
and
Also-
tap her right arm 3 times. Ding, ding, ding. Puts her staff away.
Oh, we're doing magic, huh?
Let's do this, little man.
I'll let you have it. I'll just do it natural.
She casts, you would recognize the spell Enhance Ability. Go ahead and make a strength check.
I'm not good at these.
Well, I subtract 1.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
a 14.
That's a 14.
The two of you holding on there is like, were you serious at first? Were you pushing into it or not? Or no?
Yeah, I was pushing into
Pushing
it.
into
Trying
it,
it.
getting a little bit pink. She goes, "I'm gonna be the strongest."
Okay. I'm gonna
Do it
beat
again.
you.
Oh no! So
Sing.
math 19 for the
Shit!
natural 20.
I
Pushes
rolled
a
a
little-
14 again.
She pushes you a little bit further. Do you do
Knock
anything
him down.
special for this next one?
I lick her hand and then try to throw her over.
Ew! Boom! Slam her on the other side.
You should have let her beat you with the power of friendship. What's wrong with you?
That was friendship. She learned a lesson.
Do you want me to set him on fire? Because I will. He's very flammable
You
in the
could
moment.
take her hand.
I have to go find Fina. Boys are gross.
They are gross.
Oh, you
do
wanted me to
insult
sanitize your
man.
hand? I prestidigitate.
You prestidigitate. You're a nice lady. You too. And you as well. You're gross. And I'm gonna beat you next time.
All boys
Okay.
are like this.
Boys are gross.
Boys are terrible.
He's an adult man!
He's like 24. He's a child.
No, I'm 12.
Does he still have the curse that makes him look older?
Oh yeah, wait, you're magically
I
aged.
haven't bothered to fix that.
How old do you look?
I don't know.
Oh,
You're the worst looking
You're
24-year-old.
I look 30. I don't know.
Filled with alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be, like I told him, I'm gonna be the strongest one day. What kind of magic are you studying? Because I have to beat you at it.
Abjuration magic.
Wow, that's boring. What about you?
I like to dabble in all sorts of schools, but recently I've been really into evocation because it lets you set things on fire and also
Oh.
electrocute things. Or I could be in a conjuration. Is that one better? Will you like me better if I'm into conjuration?
Schools are cool, but
Divination?
elemental magic is the coolest.
Oh, no, I like lightning.
Oh.
Wait, watch this. And can I can like weapon burst 4 times a day. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, but you're just showing the.
Yeah,
the
I'm just
lightning.
cycling through them.
Oh wow! Have you ever read King Pennyford's Dialectics on Lightning?
Yes, actually.
She immediately goes into a rant, very passionate, excited about this
Read
old
that
wizard.
years ago. It's wizard BS.
Give me a history check. I want to see like how much you impress this little girl about it.
Math 20.
Math 20. She kind of starts talking about it, and as you kind of get engaged here, the little girl stops talking and just gets big eyes and is very excited to kind of listen to this impromptu lecture.
Yes. Elle really is a nerd. She really likes elemental
You're out
magic.
This little kid.
Y'all look shocked. I feel like I need to defend myself.
Oh my gosh, I'm late. I'm so sorry. It was nice meeting you. You're going to the tournament, right?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
We'll
Sounds
see you
great.
there.
Not in the tournament, but I'm gonna go watch with my master.
Don't sneak in any bullywug pins. That's what I did when I was your age.
Bullywugs aren't allowed in Calberth.
Well, in the
Bullet?
tournament. Bullet. I said bullywug. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I am so sorry.
those are so different.
Those are very
Those are so different. You had little slip of tongue. Bullywugs are frogmen.
No.
And bullets are land sharks.
It's not the similarity of the creatures, it's
The
the
word, I know.
bully.
How boss nass are your bullywugs? With that, little Terry goes in, heads back off into the city. If there's nothing else, you can spend the day drinking and enjoying the festivities here.
Can we convince Jam to get tipsy?
I really shouldn't drink. Well,
But you're the safest
I
of
guess I'm not-
spaces.
I guess I'm not acting as a princess at the moment.
You're not
I
representing the
suppose.
crown.
We literally drained y'all's silk prison, of alcohol. So, this is a safe space to let loose.
Make a persuasion check. As the night continues, you eventually heading back to the Bladefall Inn. What was your persuasion check?
It's a 10.
Is it a 10?
It's a 4.
With a lightly tipsy Jam, who has decided to imbibe just a little bit. She's quite a lightweight, doesn't look like she's had much in the way of alcohol. But if there's nothing else, you guys get to head back to the tavern, all of your things still intact, and experience a nice long rest before the journey continues tomorrow.
Cool.
Elle, your dreams are weird and uncomfortable the entire evening.
Are they?
But not magically so. You just happen to have ate too much fried food.
Ah, fair.
You're fine. The next morning comes, and you can see that the tavern itself is beginning to filter out as the various warriors are going to begin their journey up to the capital for the tournament. Any last-minute shopping that you guys wanted to do would happen now, as everyone's getting ready for a caravan up.
No. I still got my bottle of grease.
You do.
So
It has somehow maintained.
hell yeah.
You get this strange bottle of grease that I don't know what your plan with it is, but I like it.
Grease comes in handy.
It's not flammable.
No, I'm not planning on burning it.
Okay.
The party.
We learned this previously.
The party gets their horses from the stables. You get your wagon. Everyone hops back in, and you watch as a procession, a caravan of warriors, hundreds strong, heads north to the capital. The next few days' journey are peaceful, but a little tense. You constantly feel like eyes who are sizing you up, judging one another. For you guys might be facing each other in the tournament in just a few days' time.
Can we spend the time trying to scope out our opponents as well?
Sure. Why don't you are you talking about people? Or are you just trying to look people over? You just looking for anyone who looks big? Tell me what you're trying to look for, and we can make checks. Everyone can participate in this.
Sure.
Yeah, so I guess because it's a gathering of famed warriors. First, to see if there's anyone I recognize outright, etc., who I've already heard of by reputation. we've, anyone who's might been in the paper or something.
Sure. I'll let you do this with it's gonna be an investigation check. Is there something you're looking for, Ma?
I think like how many people I see carrying like books versus like swords and things like that. Kind of compare.
Sure. You want to get the general kind of makeup here. Make me a perception check. You're not looking for much in the specifics range. Laurentius, how are you gathering information, or what kind of information are you trying to gather?
I'm asking questions.
All right. Talking with some folks, maybe making some drinks along the way as
Yeah.
people camp overnight. Make me a persuasion check.
Saucing them up.
The party is traveling along the road northward with a caravan of heroes that are passing through Calberth, making it to the Tournament of Blades. Hundreds of people, as you pass by roads, they're joining into the caravan as it's this massive tournament on the king's grounds. Is there any sort of check you'd like to make while we're moving along?
Looking for shifty swords.
I'm going to go ahead and call that investigation as well here. We're going to go in the order we had you roll. So, Elle, you were looking for anyone familiar. What was your result?
9.
A 9? As you're kind of looking around here, you can't help but notice that there's a lot of unfamiliar colors. You see banners of foreign lords. You see people who are wearing what looks to be modified pieces of armor that have been like haphazardly slapped together. You see not a lot in the way of like people you recognize. You recognize the current party, Sir Letraval, who's walking alongside the carriage, Jam, and little Rowlnor, who has fully been asleep for over a day at this point in the back of the wagon. Just
Is he growing again?
I'm suspicious.
Rowlnor, he's been fully, mostly out of consciousness for about a day, but not sick as far as you can tell. You've seen this before, and Amanda, as you mentioned, last time he did have a growth spurt after one of these.
Yeah.
It's growing pains.
Growing pains. Ismini, are you still wearing your little crown?
Of course.
She earned it.
Wearing your little crown?
I earned it with underhanded means. Of course I'm wearing my crown.
Then let's go over to Mai. You're looking for kind of a distribution of spellcasters and
Nat
other-
20 for 28.
28. You do see that the majority of people here are martially
Totally, yeah.
aligned. So lots of, you can see there are orcish men with these large knuckled gauntlets that they wear as they walk along the road, bare-chested on one side. You can see knights, you can see these berserking-looking men in large furs. Lots of martial folks. Those who aren't in that way are often either robed in a way that makes it hard to tell, or are openly carrying spell books. You see very little in the way of religious folk. You could use maybe a couple of clerics of the 9 as you're passing through. There is a paladin of Bahamut who's here. Looking at the heraldry, it looks like it is a member of the Runic Legion, and some of the knights who serve up here in the north. But it's mostly martial folks.
Okay.
Laurentius, as you've been asking around for a couple of days, getting more information, what was your result?
19, so 28.
28. There's a lot of what your friends here have told you is pretty useful. You actually kind of make a little bit of a name for yourself as you've been kind of mixing drinks here. A couple of dwarves have been passing by, very excited to have you around. Happy to pass along information. Apparently, there is a particularly large person who's been kind of passing through, but you aren't able to get a direct contact with him here, named Boros, who was apparently a mountain of a man, standing at least 7 feet tall, huge armor covering most of his skin, and the helmet itself is shaped strangely like some sort of like horrible beast, but it's clearly armor. So if there's someone to look out for, there's a man named Boros. Is me?
23.
23, and you were looking specifically for, remind me?
Shifty people.
Shifty people. You can't help but catch that there's a number of thieves walking among here that don't appear to be heading for the tournament, but instead are scoping out folks who are not paying much attention. Luckily, between yourself and no one's getting to your cart.
Cool.
but it is you are able to note there are certainly going to be people trying to steal here during the Tournament of Blades. One thing I also would like to give you some general information is you would know you're heading to campgrounds outside of the city, which is where the people stay until the late rounds of the tournament. And let's go ahead and talk about those campgrounds as eventually you can see it off in the distance on the horizon. You've been walking alongside the slowly moving river Heartstring that you once took a ferry across. And you see in the distance a large city on what looks to be an island surrounded by that river. The river meets up, it looks like it V's around the actual city itself, as if it's been nestled right between. On the far edge of the horizon, though, you can see another river that has come to join. And those of you who've seen the map before know that the city you're going to, the Runehold, is surrounded circularly by a rotating moat that links the 5 rivers of Gren. This strange place filled with magic is closer still. You can see off in the distance there are 2 large spires in the city. A taller, narrow, looking like a tower, and then in the center there is a collection of smaller towers for a large castle in its center. So there's 2 major sort of castles in the city. Getting closer, you can see that in this sort of valley just outside of the circular river are hundreds of tents that are being set up. There are horses, you can see, it looks like there are peasants and farmers who are bringing in various forms of cattle, and this huge production is being done here on the outside. The tournament grounds are here. You would know that this is not actually where the fights will be, but this is where you will be staying here, maybe for the next couple of weeks. Getting closer, you're able to eventually, having to ask around for where you're supposed to go, you eventually are brought before a familiar face to Laurentius, one of those dwarves that you pass along with. Oh, just received my assignment. Are you the Defiant Smiles?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm Tendry. This short little dwarven man. He's got plate armor on.
I see.
That's got. You can see he has an axe on his back, a dwarven face that is molded onto his pauldron itself, and the helmet actually extends underneath the faceplate. 2 jagged metallic beard-like constructs covering the bulk of his neck and jaw. So it's like he has a metal beard built onto his helmet. Well, as I said, I'm Tendry, and I'll help you get set up with your tent. This is your first time being here,
Yes.
and am I to assume, kind of looking around, one of you is the,
You want to
Yeah.
guess?
Oh, please don't make me.
We won't.
I'd much rather not. Well, welcome. I've been here a couple
The
of
lilac
times.
skin gives you away every time.
You're going to be over here. There's a royal quarter that has been set up for a bit more defense, just in case. And of course, you've already been. Everything was written ahead, so you should have all of your tent and everything should be set up once we're there. But, well, I'm in the tournament, but if it goes anything like the last few times, I'm mostly going to be doing a bunch of watching. But I'm feeling good about this year.
How many times have you entered?
Well, this would be my 5th tournament.
Hey, 5 and 25 years.
Yes, well, first time I came here, I was barely wearing a chain shirt, so saving up a little bit more of my coppers each year, and we'll see how I do.
Good luck.
As he kind of continues walking along, the folks back home in the jog helped me fund this axe, and so I think I'll have a better time. Last time I got there was a giant snake, and it was a whole thing.
There was a giant snake?
Broke my pole arm like it was a twig.
They'll do that.
Do you have lots of experience with giant snakes?
I've heard stories.
Okay.
There's some fun stories in Tayrilla. You haven't heard them all.
Gotta keep going back.
Oh, Tayrilla, so are you actually from Elms then?
I am, yes.
That's so cool. We haven't. I'm from closer. I live just in the mountains to the west. I'm from Gorbarim. But it's not often we get folks coming down. We got, I suppose, more Southerners than we had the last time. We've got some halflings over from Darendal, though they're all quite a bit in mourning after what happened. Their Lord Mayors. We're
Oh, I was just gonna ask what your clan name was. That's all.
I'm clanless, so just call me Tendry of the Jaw.
All right, Tendry.
The jaw.
He kind of smiles. You can kind of see there's still like a portion of his face that is partially visible underneath this metal facade he's wearing. Well, there's too many folks, and so there's definitely going to be prelims, but you'll probably have a good chunk of the day before the preliminary events. Do you have any questions about the tournament?
Do you know what the prelims are this year?
Oh no, we'll have to wait for the king to announce them.
Have the rankings been announced, like who we're facing yet?
Oh, no. Generally speaking, the preliminaries are more of an obstacle to overcome that's not each other.
Okay.
Maybe we'll face each other eventually, but I did make it past the prelims last time, so it was, there'll be all manner of challenge here, and beasties, and we'll be fighting each other, but in the end, it's all good fun. A bit of glory, a bit of gold.
Bit of falling on your face.
Well, that's why I got this. Tink, tink. He hits the front of his own faceplate.
It's a nice design. I don't think Do I recognize the Smith? Is it look pretty standard, or
It's
is it
dwarven.
Okay.
You wouldn't say. I would say it's
Sounds
not
like-
something immediately familiar to you.
Cool.
He's certainly not dressed in a knight set of plate armor. It's okay. A lot of this is slap shot.
Yep.
Well, if you succeed, actually, come victory or failure, after the prelims, a lot of folks will be to get together in the grand tent for some drinks after the first round. So, I hope to be seeing you there.
Yeah. I think you might see us there. For sure.
He does show you. So he's staying just outside the little section of the tents that are higher security. But he's kind of just here. He's admittedly part of how I'm paying my way here is by doing this job. So really, if you need anything, just let me know.
Thanks.
Will do.
Thank you.
Tendry.
Kind of gives you a little bit of a nod there, smiles, and heads into his small tent. You are brought forward until you see the ostentatious creation that was sent ahead from you. Standing roughly 35 feet wide and 60 feet deep is a massive red tent, gilded gold trim along the edges, and a series of black designs bearing sigils of noble Eltsian houses along it. Jan kind of pipes up, "Oh, this is us!"
It's very red.
Oh, it is! It's a beautiful color.
Looks good, Jam.
I like all the faces.
I should get changed, I suppose. If the King of Issel is going to be speaking, I suppose I should make a proper appearance as... Wait a second. Father won't be here for a few days still.
We're not going to tell anyone what you dress like.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the princess can arrive a bit later.
Also, Tindry didn't even know which one of us was the Princess of Elves. You might have a little bit more freedom than you might have expected.
Yeah, that's saying something. Look
Yeah.
at me.
Yes, but, well, after the prelims, I will have to sit in the royal box for the events, so... But
Only after.
But only after. So for now, I get to kind of enjoy and watch and kick some butt.
Not the way I've been rolling.
Opening up the tent, you can see that the tent inside has there's these poles that are set up with hooks along the top of the tent so that you can make sort of rooms, essentially, if you want privacy. The back half of it is for the princess, but there is space here. There are fine silken pillows. There's well-made beds that have been set up here out of a very simple sort of foldable frame. And so there's time here for you to get ready. Ralnor is fully just, at this point, in the cart still, just not walking.
Aww.
Can I get some assistance in carrying him?
Yeah, I'll help you.
Kind of lifting him up, bringing him across. Can I get you both to make me a strength check? Because Ralnor is awful heavy.
Do you need help?
22.
7.
As you're carrying
He's got like his
Ralnor.
tail.
Gwynwyn is a little bit excited, kind of.
Gwynwyn.
Oh my god,
my
I'm
gosh.
sorry.
She's
Oh
not alive anymore.
killed that one.
You killed that one.
Okay, Gwynwyn is still dead.
1,000-yard stare.
We all stop for a moment and start crying.
I'm just going to kill them.
I'm so sorry, Amanda. My confident, kind of walking at a normal pace, maybe not slowing down enough for a more feeble wizard, continues walking. Relnor kind of falls backwards. As soon as his rear paws hit the ground, there is an explosion. As you watch, is bursting off of him, flakes of this thin paper-like material from between his scales, and actual orange scales burst off of him in about a 10-foot circle around you. Just poof. Relnor, as he kind of stands up, and as you were squatting a little bit to hold him, right? Mm-hmm. He stands looking at you at about eye level, about 4 feet off the ground. His jaw wide as he burst once more from his another layer of shell. And he's going to rapidly begin eating his own scales in the area. Does anyone want to do anything to stop him?
Can I grab one, or will he bite my hand?
You can certainly try.
I will try to grab a scale.
Yeah.
I'm probably the fastest person.
Okay, make an opposed initiative check with Relnor.
It's growing at a very
Does
rapid
Relnor
rate.
get to...
Relnor does. Battle ready. Natural 20.
Relnor rolled a natural 20
I can't beat that.
for a 21.
Yeah, I got a 15. I've been rolling poorly.
As you try to go for some of the larger scales, Relnor quickly dives in, sinking his jaw into the dirt to consume his own scales. But you are able to pick up 2 of these pristine Relnor scales. As you're kind of looking at them, it's so dense. You pick them up and realize his weight's mostly on his skin. It's so heavy. They're heavy stones. Relnor continues digging through the ground, getting all of these pieces here. Yeah, this scale, which stretches across a good chunk of the palm of your hand, weighs an easy 3 pounds. For this? Yeah, you just start doing cardio, just power walking.
Oh, no, this is my curl weight.
The lead weight.
Relnor, now fully energized and standing at a full dwarven height, walks on inside and finds the largest pillow to lay down on.
Aww.
We are going to have a very hard time controlling you.
He keeps growing that quickly. It's been like a few months.
He might be
Yeah.
an outside pet at that point.
He's going to get bigger than the warehouse.
He might be as big as that stone statue
Who's
we
going
saw
to
at
be
the
bigger than
lizard.
the warehouse? Jam, looking confused.
We are equally confused.
Me, if I keep eating all this greasy
Relnor?
food.
No,
No,
crew.
he just did that.
What have you been feeding him?
Mostly the magic.
Magic?
Well, that explains.
He's a baby
So it's your guys'
raptor
fault.
eating the magic.
He just eats dirt and ground.
Shoes.
Leftovers.
We don't remember the
We used to
wood.
feed him all of Gwynwyn's cooking, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, this was a funny haha. I'm sorry.
Well,
We got a lot of pumpkin spice lattes.
It's like a lot of pumpkin spice lattes. Should we have given alcohol to a baby?
Oh shoot, I forgot that coffee's alcoholic.
What if we stunted his growth and he could have been
Good.
bigger?
good.
Good.
You said it.
Keeps eating my shoes.
Is that why you're only yay tall? Yay tall?
All the
You, what are
alcohol.
you talking about?
Is Thorn taller than now? I think we've
Yeah.
hashed
Yes.
this out before.
Oh no. We don't know. We
I'm not
thought on
that-
your sheet
I'm
somewhere.
like average height.
You're an average height dude.
Like,
I
you're
always
so
make tall
tall.
characters.
I'm like 5'10".
You're like 5'10".
Yeah,
He might be taller than you.
I'm gonna continue my quest to make.
I'm not like crazy tall.
Do we just want to play
I'm not a Kevlar.
Divinity Elves? Like 8 feet tall, eat people's
Why are you
bodies.
accusing me of having a preference for playing elves?
Could I borrow you for a moment?
Yeah, always. Right now,
You
sure.
watch Jam takes a step back into the sheeted off area for the back.
Yeah.
Taking a step in, you can see that there is a beautiful gown that has been laid out, which is sort of this silvery blue, but it does bear a sash along one side of the Eltsian colors. It looks like it's just a long formal gown. There's a stool set up nearby. See, she's got a beautiful bed that's set up. But she goes over and sits on the stool. Would you mind helping me braid my hair before the speech?
Yeah, of course.
I would appreciate that.
I don't know how good I am at it. I will do my best.
I'm sure it will be delightful.
You say that now. I will do my best.
You all hear Elle's embarrassment through the inch-thick
Wait,
piece of fabric in the middle.
can I stick my head out? Leave.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
do you need like a tie to put on the thing?
Oh my gosh, Thorn.
What did the tie before?
Oh my gosh, Thorn. I'm gonna throw a rock at you.
I was just gonna give you a big
Rowlor looks up and walks out of the tent.
I'm gonna
make
call
like a
it
Rowlor.
Rowlor. I want to keep checking on Rowlor after what just happened.
The three of you head off, going to check that all the equipment is ready.
Oh, I'm busy with Rowlor.
Right, Rowlor's out with the wagon. My apologies. And I think we're going to take our real quick break here, and when we come back, let's hear what the king has to say for the preliminaries. Stay right there, though.
Don't move.
Don't move.
Well, let's do it.
Welcome back. All right, so you all getting your you've all been getting your equipment ready, helping the princess get ready for just to go head to this grand tent for the big announcement.
Can I see how well I do on the braid?
I would love that.
It's actually tempting fate because I've been rolling.
Dexterity check for me, because I would say that's what this is.
Slowly.
Now, you decide. Are you proficient in this? Is this something you've done a lot of?
Well, I have hair,
Neither of your parents wear a braid. It's your decision if you'd like to say that you've known how to do this.
but I also had very few to none other children around except at events.
Okay.
So I would say no.
Okay. Then this is just a flat dex roll.
Wow, I did poorly. 13.
With a 13.
Big surprise.
You begin trying to take this long braid. She's got such long, sort of like jet hair. And you try to do this long, large braid. And at one point you kind of catch and have to go back. And she kind of takes your hands and kind of shows you the start of the pattern here. And lets you go back and try again. And it takes a little longer than it should. There's a couple of points where hands brush ever so slightly. Eventually, she ends up with a nice long braid along one side, and is ready.
Cool. I'm gonna tuck Amakara into her braid. For good luck.
Thank you. I know this means a lot to you, and I appreciate it.
This is the fourth one, so.
Well, I'll be sure not to lose it.
Well, I'm giving it to you, so. It's for good luck.
Just like a class ring.
Get away from my
Did
nose.
you just give her your Letterman?
Are we going steady now?
Thank you for coming on this adventure.
I love adventures. And it's nice to get out of the city and spend time with people. Or something like that. I don't
I
know.
was gonna say into you.
Yes. I feel like a little voice cracking on the other side of the room.
Have our heads peeked
And
out
you.
listening.
Ralnor's gotten into the box of shoes.
No,
Not mine. I
Ralnor.
only have one
Oh
pair.
god. Oh Bahamut. Someone fix this.
Ralnor,
A
no.
small blush on her face. She stands. Well, I suppose we should go join the others.
Yeah, otherwise they're gonna just keep making jokes across the other side of the screen.
You can definitely tell she is not getting most of these jokes.
Oh. That's good. I'm so glad.
She's gonna start repeating things without knowing what they mean, though. So good luck with that.
It's fine, I don't know anything.
A few moments later, you were rejoined. Mai, you can see that Elle and Jam have left the tent, and you can see it looks like a lot of people are kind of heading over towards this sort of large area that you saw was set up earlier in the camp. Well, it has a lot of covered portions. It isn't a true tent. It's got long stakes that have been dug into the ground and go about 20 feet up and are connected by these long pieces of canvas. So while it would protect people from the rain, there are tables that are set up here. It isn't it's not like sleeping quarters. It's a place for eating and drinking a whole bunch. This grand gathering area here. Kind of file in, finding a place for you all to sit. Leaving the royal section there, you can see there are several guards who are just standing, waiting, wearing long blue Issel tabards over their armor. Finding a place to sit, you can't help but notice how many just different kind of gruff-looking characters, orcs with huge tusks, warriors. You can't help but spy a couple members of the Ashen League on the far side of the tent. All of these people here either paying their way in or are sponsored by a noble from somewhere on the continent of Gren to join the Tournament of Blades. It's loud in here. All the different conversations clashing together with one another. For a woman's voice cries out, "Silence!" Everything quiets. Heads turn, looking towards the front section here as a raised platform, like a stage sort of where performers would play. You watch as a collection of figures begin kind of stepping up. First, a human woman, the one who yelled out across the room. On her hip is a fine sword with a dark silver silver hilt to it. She wears a white shirt and simple black pants. She doesn't appear to be heavily armored at the moment, but as she kind of steps up, she looks like she's probably in her mid to late. I would say she's in her late 20s, early 30s. But she stands up, calling out before stepping aside as the rest of the procession behind her joins her on the stage. Next, you see a hooded figure wearing a cloak of this brilliant, glittering, sort of tannish color, like a bronzy kind of color, steps up and stands next to the woman. Next is a much shorter individual, a dwarven woman, thick, padded leather armor with a wide breastplate set on top of it. The breastplate has a beautiful anvil on it that is ignited with flames, that these ruby flames on the breastplate shimmer ever so slightly on the actual breastplate itself. On one hip you see a long sword sheathed, and on her back is a large axe, a great axe. The dwarven woman, beautiful red hair, steps aside. She's got some kind of stout, harsh, angular features, but there's a confidence about her. She kind of steps up. Next is another human woman, this one dressed in a fine dress. She looks like she's, it's very similar to the gown you saw previously. This is very much a noble woman's dress here, but in one hand you see there is a longbow, thin, simple, white wood, and in her other hand is a quiver that she's holding. She steps up. Finally,
Duchess.
Excited? You can
Yeah,
see
I'm
that.
like, it's the Duchess. She's very cool.
Finally, you see
Okay.
the last two men are a pair of halflings. The
Thanks.
first taking his place at the end of the stage in the row with the first 5 people here. It appears to be a wizard of some sort. A large tome in his hands, hood down, but a long cloak up nonetheless. There are a collection of large runes along his cloak, and you can see at the base of it there's a slight after image sort of effect where you can kind of see where it was, and it moves in a strange, discordant sort of manner. And finally, stepping up is that second halfling. Curly hair, sort of like a small tufts of curls, black, though graying ever so slightly along one side of his head. He wears a fine gambeson, puffy sort of gambeson with blues, and he appears to be unarmed. Most apparent is the small golden crown inlaid with sapphires that he wears atop his head. As he steps up, you can watch as each of the people who've walked alongside of him bow their heads deeply with reverence. You can see a number of individuals, though not everyone here, kneels. This man would be known to the two of you by name and by artistic depiction as King Sigurd Issel.
Does this mean you kneel?
Oh yeah.
I kneel with her.
The two of you stand and then kneel beside the table. What would you like to do? I'm curious.
It's not my king. I think I'll just bow my head slightly, but it's not
Yeah,
my
that's
king.
fine. That's not offensive. You watch as Jam stands at her feet and though she wears her armor, she does have a small skirt on the lower sections beneath her breastplate and does perform a very polite curtsy before sitting and folding your hands at the table you've been sat at. There are these kind of long sort of tables that are so that you're able to face towards the stage if you'd like. The Halfling King looks over the tables at all of the warriors, going back further and further. As you kind of looked around, though you've got probably 15 or so tables under this first section, you can't help but notice there are people, hundreds, some of them standing outside. The sky is beginning to gray ever so slightly as clouds have begun to roll in. You can feel the rain soon to come. The man looks about for a moment, and then locks eyes with the tall woman who you originally joined with. Sigurd, King of Issel, then begins to speak. Every few years, I am granted the great pleasure of meeting with fine warriors from all manner of the realms. Heroes, champions, warriors from across Gren gather outside the gates of my fair city to battle for glory, valor, and of course, treasure. With this, you hear some hoots and hollers from the back, quickly hushed. The tradition of the Blades has existed long before my allies and I saved these lands and united her peoples under the banner. The mighty few who have proven themselves stand shoulder to shoulder with all manner of rulers, kings and queens, emperors, even the Lord Mayors of Darendal. As King of Issel, these 5 blades stand beside me. They are my protectors, my confidants, and my mightiest weapons against darkness during troubling times. The blades themselves give a deep bow, and those of you with decent perception can't help but notice the woman closest to him. There's a small smile and a clearly whispered thank you. This year's lot holds much promise. 100 lords have written of their champions and of the adventures they have been on. We have warriors from the dwarven kingdoms, Gorbarim and Gorthum, emissaries from the elven houses of old Chalcedonia, honored guests from the Vorax Empire, arcanists from the Tower of Aeons, guilds of Elts, and even the Steel Shapers from the Halfling lands to the south. Each of you have proven yourselves in your homelands, and now have the opportunity to show all of the realm what you are made of. Perhaps some of you shall be selected as blades by the rulers of your kingdoms. But certainly, those of you who find victory here shall find victory on all of your future battlefields. To enter my tournament and face the challenges my blades have set aside for you, you must first pass my test. As myself and my dearest allies carved out this slice of kingdom for ourselves, so too have I carved challenge for each and every one of you. Made of stone and wood, you shall face one of my golems. Meet them in combat, overcome them, and you may face my blades. With this, there's a very clear pause. Seeing this is done, and possibly seeing the tension of the blades at his side relax, people begin banging on the table, excitement, claps, whistles, cheers, different excited sounds from different folks here. You can fully hear a table crack as a half giant hits his fist against the table on the far side back, not quite knowing his strength there. A woman nearby with long red hair is clapping, just kind of. You would clock kind of looking at the party, there's a woman there with a pair of daggers at her hip who's kind of smiling at the speech, but is definitely observing you to an extent. Very well. Each of you shall find a place within the fields outside of this encampment, and my golem shall appear before you. Should you wish to face them alone, you may do so, though I know some of you have come in groups. Regardless, the golems shall meet your challenge.
Ooh. We can work together.
With this, the king smiles and steps down, walking away from the encampment, his blades following him. People are really excited. You hear people start strategizing, talking about golems. Nearby, a table of mages pulls out some different pieces of parchment and are looking over for information about golems, studying.
So the usual strategy: hit them until they stop hitting us back.
Yeah. Burn
Yeah.
the wooden one.
Yeah. Burn wood. Whack. Yes.
What's a golem?
Yes!
Ismini, would you like to?
They're a construct, a humanoid construct made out of simple materials, but often large and powerful. Do you know what a construct is?
I've read it before. I know how
I'm
to
a
read.
construct.
Know how to read
Maybe.
now.
I don't know.
Yeah. They're fabricated out of materials to be a large humanoid capable of fighting a lot of people and being very strong.
Okay.
They're powered by
Defenders,
magic.
usually.
Magic monster. Got it.
Magic
You got
monster made out of a material.
Context clues. That's
Walking
what we
over
call
from a
it.
nearby table is the familiar face of Sir Letraval. I wanted to thank you and pass along my decision. I did not fight like a proper knight in those tunnels. And were you not there, I would have died in them.
Maybe.
I wish to face this challenge alone.
Okay.
Okay. We respect your decision.
If I make it to the tournament, I look forward to facing you there. And if I don't, I'll be cheering for you in the stands.
We will respect your decision.
Yeah, Elle, it's his decision.
I haven't said anything.
Your face said it all.
I'm just
I,
excited. 'cause
I know some of
recognize
you
it.
may understand this, but I have someone I want to fight for.
Hey, I'm never gonna fault anyone for trying to make their own name.
Yeah.
Ever.
GM stops for me. You're a very brave knight, Sir Letraval. He gives a little bow there, polite, not too much, and begins heading out towards the fields.
Good luck, man.
Now, I assume the five of you are going to fight.
You
as
can
a
yield
party
if things
here.
get hairy.
Five?
FYI.
Oh, wrong.
Ralnor.
Ralnor. Ralnor is legal.
Fun.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You have a
yeah.
mount yet?
I'm excited to
4
observe.
feet
Getting
tall.
there.
I'm going to watch closely. I'll, of course, stay out of danger, but I'm excited. Have you all faced a golem before?
Not, but I mean, can't be worse than crazy wizards or.
Okay. Based on what Ismini told me, we did fight this mud monster a while back, and we're a lot stronger now, so
Well,
I think we'll be alright.
Oh, you're right.
When do we find a mod monster?
It was back in the
Arc 1.
Yeah.
Copper's back.
forest.
Copper's back.
Oh shoot, we did find a mod monster. Yeah.
I was
There's
the one
also
that
a
brought it
furnace
out.
that was animated,
I
so
remember.
have battle with the furnace.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you think you can
I
just-
don't know much about them, but if the past year has taught me anything, you all can face anything.
And the real world lore about golems is super interesting if you ever want to read something cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do y'all want to be blades? By the way, before we start the tournament, what are goals? Anyone aiming
What are the
Let's
what are
see
the
how far I can go.
what are the perks of being a blade?
I mean-
Get a magical tattoo that lets you cast more spells.
Well, do you know?
or do
pretty
other
cool.
things?
We've never had blades in elves. You're here
Yeah,
to
why
win
is
the
that?
tournament for glory of our kingdom. Well, in theory, we could potentially, my father, or I suppose myself, could select a blade from those who were who did well here.
Those 5 up there didn't look that intimidating.
Do you know?
What?
Eloquently filled with rage.
Do you even know who you're talking about? You don't understand
No,
what the
I don't.
blades did. But
No.
like Freygar is up there.
Who's that?
Freygar
The
was
Duchess,
a dwarven woman.
like
Twice
Duchess
crowned
Egwin is
hero
up
of
there.
the realm.
Yeah, Duchess Egwin's up there. Do you know what she did with her bow in that war? Oh my gosh, you don't know anything.
Freygar has saved everybody that lives.
Oh, so I should.
My
Multiple
mom
times.
said that she was really
Do you remember
powerful,
the
so she must
statues?
be amazing.
Yes.
Some of them, yeah.
Miss Freygar, Lady Freygar, she actually was a guardian some years ago. One of her statues, we passed by it. It was between the funnel cakes and that strange puffy sugar.
Oh yeah. See, she knows how to get. She gets me. She gets me.
I've watched over a number of my littler cousins.
On the turntables.
Actually, how?
She doesn't get the joke.
All right. So just to clarify the rules, because there are people here to explain. You know what? There's a guy here who can explain the rules if you'd like.
Yeah, tell me the rules.
Yeah, guy.
What's the rule?
He pulls out a chart.
Well, there's Kendry. He's here to explain. As he's working the grounds, he would have to go to compete labs.
But Tinder, are you fighting by yourself?
Aye.
Who are you fighting for? Yourself?
Well, I hope to one day represent Gorbarim, my kingdom.
Nice.
I want to be a blade of Issel.
I want to be a blade of Chalcedonia. I know they don't exist yet.
Well, if the rumors are anything to be believed, they will.
Got to be something that no one else has ever been before.
Well, so the king had flowery words, but they've given us
That's not healthy.
a bit of parchment to explain
Yeah.
the rules here. Go ahead.
Which my flaws section of my card.
He'll go ahead and kind of begin passing out this. As you're going to see, there's sections that have been marked on this little map here of the fairgrounds. And if you were to go there, a golem is supposed to appear to you. Should you go as a group, there will be a stone golem. Should you go alone, a wooden one. The challenge is much greater for a stone, but you'd have the benefit of all of your allies.
We've always been a team.
Yeah. Let's enter it as a team.
But if you guys really want...
Until most of the way through the tournament, most people will be acting as teams.
I'd be happy to help anyone else that wants to fight individually. You can take all the glory. I really don't care about all this nonsense.
Well, let me point
You
this
get
out.
Forget the blade stuff. You do get quite a bit of money for every event you win.
Yeah, but-
Just getting in the tournament's going to get you a sack of gold.
I have enough money. I already got a boat on the way. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm happy.
Let me explain
Oh, don't
something
like
real
boats.
quick. If I were to compete by myself,
Fair.
I would fight a wooden one, but I add Ralnor and I fight a stone one. So if only two of us go together in a group and fight a stone one, it's gonna be the same level, like it's gonna be the same challenge, but with less help.
So do you
I
want to go
assumed it was-
individually or
I
as a
assumed
group?
it was more proportional than that. Is it not? Is it just A
Well,
or B?
Some of the groups are as large as a dozen men, so I assume there's some amount of stronger golems and weaker golems, but I suppose we can't be sure. A lot of the tournament is intentionally obscured from...
We should just go as a group since we've been fighting as a group.
We are the Defiant Smiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
We didn't come up with it.
We didn't come up with it.
Unfortunately, we
We
did
just
not name
joined a guild.
ourselves.
Oh.
You could be Defiant Smile.
What?
There's only minor paperwork involved.
Yeah, you just have to come to Elts and fill out some paperwork.
That's literally all it takes.
Else? There's barely, 2 mountains in your entire kingdom?
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
pretty
stand living
mountainous.
there.
There's a lot of woods.
I don't know.
You want
That
to
didn't count.
turn a new leaf?
What can you mine in a forest?
You know, that's fair.
You don't need to mine in the forest.
You don't mind in the forest.
I feel like we're getting into some Fern Gully territory.
He reveals he's got blue skin and a tail on his head.
I have referenced Fern Gully in about half of our sessions.
All right.
Bodacious babes, right?
Well,
That's all I remember from
if
Fun
you have no
Gully.
other questions,
Was that phrase?
I don't have much time, so if you have
I
no
just
other
love the
questions,
fruit bat.
I'll go face my
Fruit
golem.
bat's my
Yeah,
favorite
we'll go
character.
fight our golem together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best of luck. I mean that.
Best
I
of
hope
luck
see
to
in the
you
next
too.
round.
I want to see you next round too. We'll see you
You
there.
got this.
With a nod, he turns around. You watch as he pulls out this axe and a shield and begins marching out of the encampment. All right, well, I'm excited. I will watch from a safe distance, but I'm excited to see how you all do.
We got this. We fight stuff all the time.
We do. We do fight
Like
stuff.
all the time.
Yeah.
As you
It's kind of like our jobs.
As you head further and further out of the camp, eventually passing by the smaller and smaller tents, at the point where there are just there are single horses tied up to a post with a bedroll nearby, where people just one man rode out here like by himself, sort of folks. You can see that there are a collection of groups who've all just made their way out and are standing in this large field, waiting for the preliminaries to start. You see a couple of areas you could have this fight. One is close to the side of the river, and another is kind of like a more open, grassy area. And the final one has some a couple stray boulders for like cover and terrain, but also maybe a little bit harder to move through. Where would you like to fight your golem?
I'm just looking for somewhere to perch.
It's mostly flat. The tallest boulder you can see here is probably about 6 or so feet up. So that's annoying, but
This is where I planned for my character to die, is in a field of boulders, so I need to find a nice place to perch before I throw myself into a fire.
I guess we're going to the boulders then.
boulders. If I hear no objectives, we're going to boulders.
Why are you killing us?
I don't know.
You reminded the dwarves existed. You're
like, screw it.
throw this one away.
I saw Fragar, I'm good.
Xmini, do golems have like control over elements at all?
Would you like to make an Arcana check to know some stuff about golems? It's hard without seeing anything, but
That is a natural 1. 4 or 10.
you truly. It's not so much that you don't know anything about golems. It's without observing them, you need to study the runes on them, the material formations. You don't. There's too many options.
I have a question about golems. If they are magical constructs, do they have a thing that makes them stop being a magical construct?
Yes, I'll just tell the answers. Yeah.
Yeah.
An off
Do we know what that is, like,
I'm
historically?
gonna roll over as meaning.
Dang.
You'd have to observe it first to have a concrete answer to start.
So it's
I know
individual.
the answer.
So do you want cover or?
I'm gonna whack it with a sword.
It's gonna be you. What slot of your flex slot are
can-
you going into?
I
Because
can
we
go.
have-
You want
That's what's so
sword
great about the
mode?
flex slot is I can do either one.
I don't think we need a whole lot of cover because I don't want to be difficult
Okay.
for you guys to move away.
I can move.
Grass. Then.
Grass? Then?
Open
Grass.
field.
Grass.
8.
Open field?
Grass.
field.
Open
Someone
field.
just help me flank.
All right, grass.
7.
Open field.
You or you, help me flank.
Yeah.
Grass.
Perfect. Open field.
I'll help you.
No cover.
Thank you.
You guys make your
sword
way in
stuff today.
with Jam
Yeah.
staying close enough to the edge of the tent that you're confident she'll not be involved in this conflict at all. She's not fighting. She cannot buff or protect you in any way.
Okay.
As you're standing here, kind of looking over the field, hundreds of potential foes you'll see in the future. As the ground shakes, you're quickly brought back into this moment with your foe of the day. Bursting from the ground, you watch as a cylinder pushes up, probably about 2 feet tall from the ground, about 3.5, 4 feet wide. It rotates around. You see a face etched into this stony cylinder. It rotates again. This next face, rather than being neutral like the first, is an angrier look. It bursts again, a second layer underneath, a third as it continues, as these collections of these individual stony cylinders with carved runes, faces on the top row, and the second row, and the third row, covered in dozens of these very simplified, straight line sort of faces. So most of the faces are constructed of no more than like 8 lines to form their features. Bursting forward, upwards, higher and higher, till it stands a solid 15 feet high. So many carved faces. I will need you all to roll for initiative.
Can we have our weapons out?
Yeah, you can have your weapons out. Hell yeah.
I don't want
I hate
to.
when that happens.
Yeah.
That's alright. I'll take it. Double digits is always.
Ralnor roars. Ah!
Upbeat attitude Connor over here.
Yeah.
Does Valor get a lot of strange looks from people when they see him walk by?
There's so many weird things here. I mean,
You just
he's
need
weird.
you need to look for the one person that seems to recognize what Raunor is.
Yeah.
That's
That
we
one
can-
person that sees him and runs.
Sees him as like, we'll
Ooh.
say, kidnap that person, tie them up in the princess's tent.
Thorn,
11.
Mai,
19.
very good. Ismini,
Ismini 15, Ralnor 12.
what is Ismini's dex modifier?
2.
Well, you go before the golden.
Nice.
L,
16.
very good, guys.
Do this thing resists fire?
I'm a
Mine.
dexterous character.
I go last.
So
I have
again,
advantage.
to kind of explain what this is, it's about 15 foot tall, and it's made of these just
Two
barely
tents.
touching cylinders of stone. Each cylinder is probably about 3 feet, so like 5 stacks, forming 2 legs, 2 long arms. It doesn't have fingers. It doesn't look like it can grasp anything, but they continue to rotate around, some in different directions, each with a face that has been emblazoned on the creature itself. It's as it's moving closer, it's like stepping closer towards. Looks like Thorn is where it's going at the beginning here. What would you like to try?
I'm gonna cast a spell at it.
Okay, as you begin casting this spell, it does not seem to react to you casting.
That is only a 12.
A 12 to hit? What kind of spell were you casting?
Guiding bolt.
Guiding Bolt. As you try to fire off your spell at it, you watch as it gets close to Thorn, the arm rotates out of socket to strike down strangely fast, and the bolt whizzes by, does not quite strike it. You don't learn much from it, other than when it attacks, it's faster. But that'll be it for you, Mai?
Yeah.
We'll continue on. That is going to be Ililie. L, you got the drop on this thing. What would you like to do?
Okay. I like to run up to it, weapon bursting on my way, and I'm gonna swing
What
twice.
element?
I'm going to go with my new thing, radiant damage, which I can do now.
Okay.
Also, because very few things resist radiant damage. Cool. I'm gonna swing.
Igniting your weapon with this radiant light, you charge towards
Can
the
I
creature.
just roll both of them? Both swings?
Roll both swings. You charge forward. Swing, swing.
And not mark me down for that one. And the other one's gonna be an 18.
An 18 is a hit. I will need the radiant and the non-radiant damage separately.
Okay. We'll call the radiant the clear one.
Sounds good.
Okay, 6 points of radiant damage.
The radiant damage all goes through.
Sweet. I do have a magic weapon.
You do have a magic
Okay.
weapon.
13 points of piercing damage.
As you try to stab into this stony creature, as it plangs off here, you don't feel like it was terribly effective.
Did it seem like it did anything?
You can see a small chip, a slash mark where the magic blade cut through. It doesn't seem immune to it, but it does not seem particularly effective.
Okay. Interesting.
It's such a large creature, and you're stabbing a very small bit of its surface.
Cool. I'm gonna swing around, knowing that Thorn will be approaching.
All right. As you're running around it, you can't help but notice where you attacked rotates, the face staying with you.
Gonna give it a wink.
It
The
doesn't
face.
move. Just to clarify again, this is a wait.
I'd wink IRL, but I can't. I'm a flawed person.
Yeah.
This is its face.
Cute.
It's a small. You know what? I can do this, can't I? Boom! Got him.
It'd be funny. I have expected
You
you
get
to.
to the tinier lines on the camera.
No, I just fully expected you to pull up like a lot.
But no, this face just follows you as you move around, while the other face is just turning towards other of your allies. That will be Ismini's turn. Elle trying to get into a flanking position. Ismini, what would you like to do?
Bonus action hacks. Action chill touch.
Chill touch, alright.
15 to hit.
15 to hit is unfortunately going to be a miss against this golem. So as you strike against it, unfortunately, it looks like it dissipates. This creature having some sort of natural resistance here. It wasn't quite enough to grab onto these large constructs. That will be the golem's turn. The golem, one face locked on L. We'll go ahead and make the second face lock on him. It's going to be against you, Mai. You can watch. It's got about a 10-foot reach here, so unless you try to really run, it's going to be pretty good at catching most folks. He's going to swing, its arms rotating, each 180 degrees, slamming the ground. First at L, then at Mai. L, first arm swinging at you is going to be a natural 20. Oh no.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Mai, that is going to be a natural 4. That's going to miss you because I think your AC is a little bit better than a. Right?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm so sorry, I didn't actually get the right dice for. Oh, I do have the right dice for crits. Okay. L.
Okay.
As it strikes, this is just going to be bludgeoning damage against you, and I need a strength saving throw.
Okay.
You're going to take 24 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mark me down for another nat 1 on the strength saving throw. How many points do you say?
Oh, crap. 24.
24?
24 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. 6, 5,
Just die.
7.
And you are knocked prone
Okay.
as you sink down there. It's just this sort of dazed feeling.
Can I take a reaction before you throw me?
Sure.
I would like to use
You
the
wanna reduce
reply.
the damage?
No, I'm going to use the reply to make the an attack back with advantage.
Okay, you can. Reminder, it is, but I mean, you're disadvantaged because you're prone here. So it'll be a flat roll if you use the reply.
Okay.
One source of advantage, one source of disadvantage here. If you don't want to use it, you do not have to.
I mean, otherwise I'd be reducing the damage, which I could do.
What would you prefer?
I'll reduce the damage.
Okay.
Roll a d10.
Bring your blade up, trying to reduce this as you're dug into the dirt. You can feel the small bits of gravel and discarded bit of plant material kind of dig into your back.
I reduced 23 points of damage.
No way!
So I took
Nice.
1 point of damage. Not enough to use my AP, but
It's so big, because that was a huge chunk of all of your health bars.
it was alright.
Come on.
Okay, okay.
I don't.
I know how much health you have. That was a lot.
I almost never get actually knocked down too bad in fights, so it does feel like a lot.
Who have this?
The golem is going to end its turn there.
Against bosses, that's
That will
different.
then be Ralnor's turn. Ralnor, bigger, stronger, faster too. What's he doing?
He's gonna do
It's actually
his.
slower.
He's actually slower. He's gonna do all of his attacks.
Sweet. Ralnor leaps up, swinging his horn. As he does, he watches he slashes with the claw, tries to bite down as well.
20, 19, and 12.
2 hits.
Okay. The 20 hits for 6.
This is magical damage?
No?
No. Oh,
No, he's got magic resistance. He doesn't have magic
no,
weapons.
he does have magic weapons because he just received. Yes, his attacks are magical.
Oh, MW. That's what that
Yes,
means. Okay.
I apologize.
So, it'll be 12.
12 points of what?
It'll be 12 points of. Wait, the D8 is slashing damage.
Resisted.
And then I rolled the wrong type of.
Okay.
I need to roll. It was not a D6. That was 8.
But Ralnor doesn't. All of Ralnor's damage is resisted here.
Yeah, 14 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Magical piercing.
You watch as Ralnor fully leaps onto the creature, is headbutting it, biting it, clawing at the creature. You can see that the middle, Ralnor begins to rotate with the piece that he's currently on as it begins kind of spinning around with Ralnor on it. That'll then be Thorn's turn. Thorn, what would you like to do, my friend?
I'll run up. Try to help out L. Try to get that advantage. If we
Charging
can,
up,
flank.
blade in hand, you can't help but notice as one of these faces swings towards you. It's going to be a flat roll, my friend.
Okay. I'm going to use Quicken Spell, bonus action, casting Blooming Blade.
As you're watching this, it's pretty apparent. This creature cannot be flanked.
Okay.
Many-eyed is the feature name.
22.
22 is a hit. This is slicing down with your weapon. I will need the damage separate if you're doing multiple forms because it will resist your damage here.
Okay, we'll do this one. This one will be the Booming Blade, and this one will be mine. Okay, 5 points of thunder damage and 10 points of slashing damage.
Good news, bad news. That slashing damage is resistant. As you strike against it, crackling thunder strikes against it, and you see it ripples through, and there's a small crack that appears a few inches out from where you struck. It is
like
vulnerable
thunder.
to thunder damage.
And my second attack, Booming Blade again. 19.
A 19 is a hit.
5 points of thunder and 15 points of slashing damage.
Wow, that was with Quicken, is how you did that?
Yeah, I did Quicken, Booming Blade, and then Action, Booming Blade.
I like it. All right, we're gonna go to the top of the round. This golem spinning around. While your friends are surrounding it, doesn't look like it minds, as it seems to be able to just shift its form. As it's really this collection of 24 of these strange face-covered cylinders. The golem's spinning around. It's your turn. What would you
I'm gonna
like?
summon the moonbeams down on him, casting moonbeam right there.
Excellent. The rains have begun to pick up here. Begun pitter-pattering down. There's a parting of the clouds as you bring down this moonbeam from the sky. Do I
The
make any
con
saves?
save, yeah.
Con save. I'm pretty constitutionist. That's a natural 2. So I'm going to be fail on this one.
Only 6 points of radiant damage.
6 points of radiant damage. Okay, that's not too much, but all of that does go through here. It's hard to tell if you've done much to this at this point, though. It doesn't seem terribly hurt, but it's hard to tell without blood or a face that can convey emotions.
I'm gonna action surge. I cannot.
Every time you say that, it's so. I was
say
like,
it
wait,
weird.
what? It's so cool. No. I'm not making fun of you. I'm saying it's so badass when you say action
So
surge.
good every time I hear it.
It's also
Yes,
it's very new to hear Amanda say
Yeah.
action surge.
I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt again, trying to give advantage to my ally.
Oh, is Guiding Bolt's not concentration, correct? Perfect. You summon the moon with one hand as you fire a bolt of lightning.
23.
Super hit. AC is 17, just so everyone can you guys have determined that at this point.
Nice.
14 points of radiant damage.
14 points of radiant damage, and you watch as several of the segments here begin glowing in a particular area, granting advantage to those who attack there. It's not perfectly immune to advantage. It cannot be flanked specifically.
Okay.
Amanda, insanely good turn. Is that gonna be it for you?
That'll be it.
You want to say well out of its range, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It swung at you. You can get out of its range for the next turn if you'd like. It would provoke. Is that okay?
No, I'll just say it as range.
Perfect. You're staying here. Lots of folks are nearby. Too many options here. We'll keep on going. That is then going to be Elle's turn. Is Mina, you're on deck.
Cool. Having watched Thorn, I'm going to burn another weapon burst to drop Radiant and switch to Thunder.
Okay. Switching up your magic type, you then leap forward. Do you want to go? We'll give it an option because it's big enough. Normally, the next attack gets advantage. Because it's so large, I will let someone choose when they'd like to target the lit up section. There's no judgment for using it.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll
You're
use
really
it because
good
I get
at
to
it.
roll 3 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my bonus action, so I'm not gonna be able to do the
Action,
spell.
swing, swung.
Yeah. So first hit,
Okay. With Mina, you're next. Make sure you know what you
no
have to
natural
do.
20. I'm just gonna see if I swing. Got a natural 20 on the second one. Second swing. Cool.
Gross.
Okay. First hit.
You start rolling that damage. This is gonna be happening at the same time. I'll get as many as you roll. So you can have like 7 dice in here. Oh no, there's no spell.
There's
Give
no
me that
spell.
damage.
I'm just going to my first hit first. I said clear was the thunder, so 5 points of thunder. 14 points of piercing.
Okay.
This, I need extra dice.
2 extra dice. Crits on both.
This will be thunder. Thunder. Okay, I said this is thunder. So it's 7 points of thunder damage.
Wow.
And then 14 and 20 points of piercing.
Very nice. As you're striking against it, your blade is ignited by this holy light as you shatter against the guiding bolt from Mai. As you're kind of in the moon, you're in this moonlight, empowered by your goddess. You strike against it, and the creature is rocked backwards, taking a step and nearly falling before it arches back up and continues its assault. Around you, you can see similar battles are happening nearby. You see what looks to be a trio of younger mages are lobbing bolts of these rays of fire, they're casting Scorching Ray on another stone golem, and they're just dissipating against the surface. Far in the distance, you see what looks to be a large dragon that is currently trying to rip one of these golems with its forearms. You're just pulling one of these apart, and other warriors just clashing against these golems.
I want to be a dragon.
It's Meanie. It's your turn. Now where's the next character?
I want to tune into that group throwing fire. Was it ineffective?
I have said so. Curse my DM.
Because I'm holding
descriptions.
3 d20s. Was it ineffective?
I will require. I'll tell you this. Middle of battle. I'll say this is a difficult but not impossible check. DC 15 perception check, and I will give you the answer.
That was a natural one.
Looking over, you as you're kind of watching, there are several of them lobbing these bolts. Hard to tell.
You're going.
I will let you make the decision. I'm not tricking you. You just don't gain information.
It doesn't matter. No matter what, there's going to be some amount of damage that goes through. I am going to cast Scorching Ray.
Do it.
That is a natural 20,
Nice.
an 18, and a 19 plus 4, 23.
4 hits.
You don't need those d6s.
I do need my necrotic damage.
I do need your necrotic damage. As you lob these bolts, you watch as
immune
the
to
flame
fire.
disperses along its face.
I still get to
But as
read.
it does, there's a pulse of on the opposite side. You can see pulsing through it like spears piercing a body are the bolts of black energy. Roll that necrotic damage.
And I rolled a natural 20 in there, so there's
so it's a good.
4.
It's still so much
4
damage.
d6. It's not as much.
No, but it's crazy that you're rolling so many dice and it's immune to the basic spell.
All 3 hit, right?
All
Yeah.
3 hit, one was a crit. I don't get to roll a fire, but I have hex on every
Oh
one.
no, yeah, I'm doing the math wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
What a good roll! Like it's so impressive. Also.
Yeah,
Oh, he was
it's-
also supposed to
it-
have disadvantage
shouldn't you
on
roll one
your
more?
strength checks.
Shouldn't you roll one more because one was doubled?
Yeah,
Should be 5?
I rolled
4.
There's
Second
3
level
rays.
spell.
Second level
Oh,
phase.
I'm crazy.
Spells. 5, 10, 13. points of necrotic damage. Good to know, but that was the second level spell for 4d6.
I felt that like fire not going through in my heart.
No,
I was hoping to see some lightning blade, fire blade.
I was like-
fire blade stuff.
I was like, this is why everyone needs elemental adept.
All
A
right.
bad feat.
It is
Unless
the
you're
Golem's
me.
turn. This is all theater of the mind, so I will just ask everyone, who is currently standing within its reach? Is it the whole party? Is Mimi you're not?
I wouldn't be. I'd be
Okay.
trying to stay as
I
far
will
away
need
as possible.
everyone, including Realmer, except for his meanie. I need you to make dex saves as it takes its limbs and begins spiraling them. They begin rotating around its body.
I'm so mad when I do bad on deck saves. It's like the one thing I'm supposed to be good at.
It's one thing I'm not good at, and I'm so happy when I roll well.
I have a plus 10.
Oof. 18.
Pass.
16.
Pass.
11.
Fail.
15.
Fail. Oh, sorry. 15 is the DC, so you pass.
Woo.
Okay. This is going to be
It's a
38
5.
points of damage, halved if you succeeded.
Is
What
it
type of
melee?
damage?
This is bludgeoning damage.
Magical or non-magical?
Is magical bludgeoning damage.
Is it coming from a melee thing?
Does it say it?
I have
It's an attack,
melee
attack roll.
I have melee attack, and I have when damaged.
Yes, you can use the reply. You can't use.
I'll go with that
you
one.
cannot parry this. This attack is you're getting hit 7 or 8 times
Cool.
in the middle of it.
I'm gonna use the reply.
Excellent. This thing spirals out. You watch as chunks of the ground are torn asunder as the heavy storms strike the ground. Are you asking what 38 halved is?
Yeah, I don't know
It's
why I
19.
can't do math. Okay.
Okay, 19 damage for those of you who succeeded on the save.
19, 61, and I will make a attack back.
You watch as it
Advantage.
slows down considerably. It doesn't look like this is going to immediately happen again here.
That's going to be a 21, so that will hit.
Yep.
Of course, same thing. Clear die.
Realmer is next, and then Thorn.
7 points of piercing, 8 points of thunder. It's my max on thunder. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 16 damage to hit.
That's how much I can do on Thunder.
No,
All right.
bunch of thunder
With
boys over
that-
here.
Except for if I did
The
the
Golem,
big one.
that was his action to do that. It wasn't one attack. It's his whole action to do this ability. It falls over somewhat limp for a moment. And you watch as it's kind of retracting its arms back in, reforming its more humanoid shape. It took a lot out of it to do that. We're then going to go to Realmer. Realmer, AC 17. All of this is resisted damage.
That one's cocked.
Nice.
That'll be 2 will hit. 8. 14 points of slashing damage and 10 points of piercing damage.
4, 5.
So half to 12.
Okay. My phone died. Can I borrow someone's calculator app real quick? I'm so sorry. I have so many individual little numbers here.
Normally doing math on it before.
Realmer cannot hit with the
I
claw
couldn't
attack.
do half of 38, so
That's fair.
my brain
sorry,
could
I've got- you guys
physically
have
not
about
do
20
that right
times.
now.
I literally also was trying to do it in my
Why
head,
can't
going.
I figure it
Thorn,
out?
it's your turn.
I have a weakness in my character sheet, and that's that all of my single target damage basically is fire.
I have a lot of fire too.
All right, I'll bonus or quicken spell, booming blade, and then attack again. So two attacks coming in. Ooh, I think that's a miss for the first one. I'm assuming a 13 doesn't hit.
So AC 17.
A 13 does not hit.
Cool. Swing again.
You fire this first shot, and as you do, it finally begins righting itself, trying to block you, but it's kind of lethargic.
Don't bother. I missed again. Rolled the same thing. So.
All right, you can see as it's working, it's all of the individual. We're starting this next round. It begins kind of standing up a little bit taller. Space opening between the segments, giving it a couple extra inches of height. There's truly levitating between them, and each of these cylinders begin to spin on its arms, spin faster and faster and faster. It's going to hurt if this strikes.
I don't like this. I'm gonna cast a spell. Bestow Curse.
What did you say?
Wait,
Bestow Curse. I know
what?
that. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
You have this spell?
I'm not wise.
It's a good spell. I like that spell.
It was a natural 5. I'll tell you this, it was lower than that math-wise. What happens to me? What curse? I'm not immune to this.
I'm cursing your strength, so you have disadvantage.
He
on
already has
abilities-
disadvantage. Never mind.
on
Abilities.
ability checks and saving throws for strength. You have disadvantage on your attacks, and you have to make a wisdom save at the start of your turn every time, or you don't get to do anything.
That last part, I don't believe you.
While cursed, the target must make a saving throw at the start of each turn. If it fails, it wastes its action that turn doing nothing.
That's
It
so
does
sick.
literally
I've
nothing.
never
Turn it
seen
off.
someone use curse in combat for that part. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's why I said no, I don't like your attack.
You can do this.
You can just turn somebody's
You
entire
can just
character
go
off.
no.
No.
The still curse is that good.
We should bring mine to everything.
No.
It's a third level.
This could be so bad.
I'm going to whack it so hard with the sword.
You just have to be in touch range, is why people usually don't take it.
Yeah.
I get to roll so many d12s.
It's a touch
though.
spell?
Yeah, it's a touch spell.
Yeah. Okay.
I normally play really squishy clerics.
L, it is
Except
your
for
turn.
that one time.
Hey,
This
Maya, I'm
creature
going to learn
is
that from you.
lunging up, and you
I took
watch.
it as
It's not swinging. It's pulling its arm back, rotating towards his Mimi Callister. You watch as this front disc is blindingly fast.
Yeah, we're not doing the punch. I'm going
It's a
to move.
ranged attack.
Cool. Well, I'm going to move in front of it and whack it with my sword. First, imbuing a 3rd level inflict wounds into my sword. Shall I roll? I'll just
Yeah.
roll them both.
you shall.
I'm gonna. If this doesn't work, I have to describe it happening to the group in one over.
28 and a 20, so we're good. First, let's do this many
The heads
dice.
turn to a Lilier.
I'm going to say the clear dice and the Erindril dice are my thunder.
Nice.
I'm just going to roll both attacks in one go.
Bye, Mayo.
Okay.
Shindayo.
Oh, there's so many dice.
Oh no, there's so many.
15, 20.
Clear dice or thunder.
Oh, yes. 6. 30. 39. 30 plus 15 is 45 points. Oh, wait. Plus 12. 57 points of piercing damage. And 11 points of thunder damage, I assume.
22.
Yeah, and then I'll let you do the math, actually.
It pulls back
79.
and fires
Nice.
this
57 plus 22.
individually. Stone is heavy. Stone
57's
is
half.
much heavier than all of us think. Like in my experience, everyone like underestimates. Boulders are crazy heavy. You watch as this piece of hardened,
20.
magically reinforced stone flies like a cannonball across the battlefield. It flies in the direction towards Iswini, but as it's about to leave the arm, the creature is. Where are you hitting it? Where do you strike this being?
Right in one of the many faces.
No, where? They all have faces. Chest, head,
Center.
what do you want?
The chest.
You leap up, striking its chest, and it is fully knocked back 6-7 feet in the chest. It fires off, and Ismini, you watch as this thing hits you. It hits the ground about 7 feet to your right, and it sinks deep into the ground, probably a good 10 feet, leaving a circular tunnel as it pushes deep into the ground.
Can only do
You
that
watch
once
as the
more.
creature falls. You can see Mai's moonbeam sizzling the stone as the creature kind of struggles, not roaring, silently writhing under all the attacks of your allies. You striking its heart, you covering its body in this holy light, and thunderous slams going on from our soldier over here.
Whack, 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 whack. Hey,
Rowlord
same.
is fully
We're-
trying
We're
to
just
to
sitting
sleep.
there with our swords. Like,
As the golem lies still, Rowlord continues trying to feast upon the stone. I shouldn't say trying, as there are huge teeth marks as he's ripped off pieces of it.
is this worse than giving alcohol to a baby? Is letting it eat rocks?
He roars out.
It's for his gizzards so he can digest things easier.
There
Like a bird.
can only be one magical construct here. Maybe. I don't know what I am.
Turning off in the distance, you see other groups that are facing off against these different golems. You can see the red-headed woman from earlier is facing off against a wooden version of this.
By yourself?
Yeah. You can see that she's drawn out a pair of blades that have been here ignited with a bit of flame and is tossing these flame-covered daggers at it. And you can see that something similar moments later where she takes it, it falls over, and one of the discs from this much shorter, probably about 8 feet tall golem, as it's collapsing, strikes her in the chest, knocks her about 25 feet. Kind of, she sits up, looking over. Did I get him?
You got him. Is that a magus?
Ow. But you can see further off, you can see this that dragon
It's a
from
marriage aid.
earlier kind of shaking ever so slightly as it kind of, shakes off the bit of tiredness from having fought with this now sundered collection of stones before it. Its bright bronze scales kind of glinting as the rain taps against the surface. You want to dismiss the moonbeam or let it run its
I'll
course?
let it run its course.
Do you want
Beautiful
to
light.
lay in the moonbeam?
Yeah, we're gonna land there.
Get a little bit of vitamin
You
moon.
take radiant damage.
Is it because I'm not elfy enough?
You all watch as this battle continues. Just dozens and dozens of these golems, mostly stone, you've noticed. But you can't help but notice the group shooting Scorching Rays from before, fully defeated at this point. Each of them lying on the ground with one of these cylindrical plates rested gently on top of them. They are clearly alive, but fully have been defeated with one of these deposited on top to keep them down. The golem, having lost its function, just crumbles into a collection of these stones in a heap in the field. Further along, you see what looks to be a tabaxi woman running along the arms of one of these golems, slashing with her claws as she can, calling out to her allies. Battle continues for a while. You guys can, of course, stay here and watch more of them as the rest of the preliminaries continue. But either way, the feeling rushes over you. You will participate in the Tournament of Blades. And you can join our friends at a very, very particular level, which is 9.
Yay.
Your 9th level?
Yeah.
Your 9th level now, my
Yay!
dear friend.
You're glowing.
Welcome.
Everyone here is da-da-da-da.
A stat screen pops up before you. Oh no. But this welling of strength within you here as you bask in the light of your goddess, these victories and failures around you both have reasons for rejoicing. Dusting yourself off and pulling Rowlor off of that golem. You get to enjoy yourselves. What are you doing here before? Because I know they're going to be drinking after the whole event's over. How are you spending this time?
Was Jam sufficiently impressed?
That was incredible.
Much better than festival games.
Yeah.
It's better when we can whack things.
How did you make your sword explode like that?
I just think it and I do it. Does that make sense?
He doesn't understand the
He's
magic
a
of that.
natural.
Yeah. She
He
gets
eats
it.
rocks.
So does Rowlor.
Yeah, but Ronald doesn't make things explode with his mind. Yet?
Onward to-
Yet?
We also don't
How
know
do you
what
know I
we're
poop?
on.
Because we share
We've
living
been on
quarters.
Latrine.
Yeah, we
We've been on
share,
watch together.
we share living quarters.
Yeah.
You got in that mud pit one time, everyone knows you poop now.
That's true.
You ruined that spa.
This is why we don't have mud pits at home.
I want to get in a
You
mud
can
pit.
turn off the battle music, Alex. You all, maybe you spend some time watching the competition here. You get some healing hands from Jam, who's willing to offer a bit of healing here.
I always take some hands.
How did everyone feel immediately after? Anyone get some good hits in against them?
You get whacked.
I have a
Yeah,
hole in my
I
spell
got
sheet.
knocked around pretty good.
I've got a hole in my spell sheet that I need to get, that I've noticed for a little while, but I need to fill the hole in my spell sheet and I'll feel better as a wizard.
Okay.
I feel like
have
you fight
Hex,
ten of those.
Yeah.
and I'll say it, I have Hex, but not enough attack spells.
Well,
I want
don't worry.
I have a lot of attack spells.
Between the rounds, you're able to go shopping in the Runehold if there's some scrolls you're looking for.
I need more single target attack spells and less saves.
I would like more thunder spells,
have
but
a
I
lot of
can't
single
control that until I level up.
Yeah. I can just go buy spells.
I want to learn what you just did. You did it with touch,
Yeah.
which I think means I might be able to figure out if I could convince, I don't know, a higher power that be is that I can put this touch melee, like a touch spell into my thing.
It's not too much longer before Jam has to excuse herself. She wants to go and she has to go check in with some of her other handlers that are present here for the event.
Gross.
Yeah. But really impressive. Seriously, some great work there with this combination of spells there.
Yes.
You guys can see. Is there anything particular you're looking for here while you're watching over the battle? The rest of the one here? It looks like well over half of people fail.
I'm looking for teams that almost fail but succeed.
What are you gonna do to them?
I'm looking for easy pickings.
Learn
Yeah.
their weaknesses.
One particular group stands out. A trio of Duergar, these dark iron underground dwarves with their ashen skin. But kind of looking around it, you can see that where they've chosen to battle, though there is some rain, there is enough direct sunlight that they're seeing like they're impeded by the nature of where this battle and when this battle is taking place.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest call you see is 3 Duergar fighting them, but eventually the 3 of them all use their natural powers, growing twice their normal height, something about 10 feet or so tall, and end up grabbing and eventually pinning the creature down, while the largest of the 3 begins hitting him repeatedly with a large hammer, which seems quite effective. The bludgeoning damage seems like it's also vulnerable to that.
Oh.
How did the Ashen League do?
Looking around, it looks like there are 3 main Ashen League teams, and you can't help but at this point notice one of them, which you can see has 2 people carrying banners, not fighting in it. There are about 8 of them. Their golem stands a solid 3 or 4 feet taller than yours does. It does its large spin attack, slamming and destroying the ground. You watch as 10 men fly into the air. The rest are quickly routed there. But of the 3, one of the Ashen League teams does actually make it through, it appears.
They'll just take anybody.
Could I find?
Oh, please.
I assume she's not actually competing since she's stepping down from her blade ship, but the Duchess isn't.
None of the blades are actually
Okay.
the blades don't participate here, and you're not even sure if they're watching. You certainly don't see them as you're kind of looking around
Okay.
for a few minutes.
That's fine.
That woman from before, the red-haired woman, kind of steps up. You can see she's pretty hurt after fighting her wood golem that she faced. Excuse me. Hey, I don't mean to be a bother, but I couldn't help but see a bit of divine magic there. Do you think I would be willing to pay for your services? Could I take some healing?
I'll heal you.
I'd
no
really
payment.
appreciate it.
Wait, it does have a cost.
That sucker got
What's
me
the
good.
cost?
The cost is you have to tell us your name.
I'm Rena Kadarin. Nice to meet you. She offers her hand. This young half-elf woman. You can see that she's got sort of long, orangey red hair. She wears a small. It's like a half helmet. It's almost like a mixture between a tiara and a helmet. Protect the upper portions of her helmet, of her head, with a collection of sort of haphazard armor, bronzes and silvers. A few of even the silvers, though some of them are more polished than others, very mismatched. And she has at her side a collection of daggers, but sheathed, you didn't see her using it before, is a elven curved blade on her head.
Darren, you Summer?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Erindril.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we might be cousins then.
Yeah.
That's-
Something like that.
Yes. Is Mina yet a question?
This red-headed half-elf woman, is she familiar to me?
No, but if you want to make a history check, I can tell you about the family name since you...
And because I assume we haven't seen her at like events. Can I also see if I recognize her?
I don't mind at all.
14.
14 is a success.
Natural 20 for 31.
31, I can tell you everything. You want to know where her birthmarks are? No.
Yeah.
Whoa, you just met. No, so the Kadarin family is an incredibly minor House of Summer, but you would know that one of the reasons that they're not particularly high up there is that they had originally taken up they didn't live with the rest of the House of Summer for a long time. They spent most of their time in the south, over in the Scuffle, which is closer to where Else is, and also in Darendal, where the Halflings live. And so they're a very, very minor house. If you're the 8th branch of Summer, 4th branch of Summer, they're the 97th.
Everyone got to move up in the world, though.
Everyone
with
got a huge
kind of
move
the
up.
elimination of most summer
Those
elves.
golems were real bastards, weren't they? I'm gonna be working that off of my shoulder for a few weeks. Ugh.
Better not take a few weeks. The tournament is, now.
Oh, I think I'll be fine. I decided to leave some of my friends behind and maybe I wanted to do this by myself just to make sure I could. But I'll have some friends on at my back, and well, we'll make sure everything becomes everything's done right.
It's a good attitude. Good
Yeah.
attitude to have, yeah.
So you guys fought together then?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
What were those stone buggers like?
They hurt.
Annoyingly immune to fire.
yeah, annoyingly immune to fire.
That would have been a real pain in the ass for me. She kind of pats on her side some of the daggers there. I won't lie, it's pretty fun to light these little constructs on fire. So
You run magic through them?
sometimes, but not everything needs it. Sometimes just a good bit of steel can cut right to the heart of the issue.
Yeah. Usually I favor lightning myself.
Ooh, hard to predict, hard to aim, but it's flashy.
It's also very funny.
Well, listen, I'm gonna go see how my friends did, and then go grab some drinks. But see you around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she already introduced herself. I was gonna say Rena. That was Rena Kadarin. As she kind of turns, swaying her way back into the tents, you're kind of left with a bit of peace here, knowing that the night of drink and merriment awaits before the real tournament starts tomorrow.
Yes, correct. Karen, Katosin, Kadarin, yes. You're going
I don't
in the
know
right
if
direction.
I don't know if I trust her.
You're going. Yes, obviously, she's completely untrustworthy, and you shouldn't trust her.
She's
at all.
too similar to
She's-
me.
she's
We
too-
need to eliminate her.
It is not long before a certain dwarven man, helmet now removed,
Yes.
comes closer.
You go in the right direction.
Oh, did you do well?
We won.
Then we drink, friends.
Yeah,
you
this is
see,
my thing,
you see your dear new dwarven friend
It's a big
Tendry.
bookworm.
Yeah.
Huge welt already forming on the side of his face. All right, well, first round's on me then.
How'd you do?
Oh, I got it, but kind of turns around and shows you that the back side of his breastplate, it has a full crack that is formed in the middle where it was split. There's a bit of red markings there, but he's already bandaged himself up.
If I don't know if they have like open forges around, but I'm not too, I can maybe try to fix that if you'd like.
Oh, I'm rubbish with steel, so I'd appreciate it.
I did bring my smithing tools, so
Oh, well, I've got a couple of silvers to rub together. We'll talk about it after drinks, of course.
maybe not immediately after drinks. You don't want to be in the forge stumbling.
I could have used a forge against that wood bugger.
Oh, they're immune to fire, or at least the stone ones were.
Yeah. You guys start talking a little bit about the strategy of your fights and whatever, but the Defiant Smiles get to take their night. Rowlor is going to get to feast on a whole host of wooden table legs and meat alike. You're able to get a nice dinner and a long rest. And when we come back next week, we will start round 1 of the Tournament of Blades. So those powerful and fearsome challenges you've ever faced will be here at this tournament. And a couple of colorful characters along the way. Congratulations on making it in, guys.
I have complex feelings
Made it.
about Rena.
You have conflict because she ignited. It's because she ignited daggers, isn't it?
And she's an elf.
She's a summer elf.
You haven't met many summer elves.
I will investigate these feelings in future sessions.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to end our session here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us either live on Twitch or later on our YouTube. We appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you at the next story.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.